I don't know. I feel like men feel like women don't have as much power as men do. One of my mentors was like, he's like, don't name your business after you. People are going to be shocked when they see it's a woman.
Man, listen, this is a very special moment for me right now. I'm sitting across from somebody that I respect very, very much in a magical place called Dallas. This woman has created a platform that some of my best memories in my entire life are tied to, and I mean that like wholeheartedly and genuinely. Some of the skills that I learned to get to New York City, I learned on this woman's platform, and this platform is called Vibes Texas, and this place, Vibes Texas, has brought some of the dopest, most talented musicians and entrepreneurs all in one location. This lady is responsible for all of that. And one of the biggest reasons why I'm proud to be from Dallas is because of Vibes Texas. That's just the real truth. Like when I think about being from Dallas and what that means to me, I think about all the nights I spent hanging out with people at Vibes. You know what I mean? I think about just all the skills that I learned. Like I literally might not even be in New York City making money right now if it wasn't for all the things that I learned being at Vibes. I just had to say that. I just had to get. Is that doing too much?
No, it's
Okay, cool. So
we guess you winging it.
hey, yeah, facts. So without further ado, I would like to introduce my good friend Romii.
Hey.
Romii, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm glad to be here. Well, happy to be here. You know, it was a nice rainy trip.
Yeah, it's been raining.
Here. It was nice though. I feel like it was. It wasn't like pouring, but it's raining. But
Yeah.
I feel like it felt good because it's been hot. So I'm like, okay, I'm just
For
get
sure.
a little shower.
So you was enjoying it?
Yeah, I was enjoying it.
Because you
wish I would have had a hood or like maybe a poncho. I just told like P, I was like, I'm gonna get me a poncho on the way back.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna get me a poncho.
That's one thing that people don't tell you about New York City. It be raining like a motherfucker here. It's like a heavy part of just being up in here. So just know, don't be making too many plans. If you do make plans, you always got to have like a rain check fit, no pun intended. Like literally, you got to have something like that, or I don't know, it might be over for you. But listen, you in New York City.
Yeah, give me some little rain boots and a poncho and see what happens from here.
Hey, listen, man. I've been on Twitter and I'm hearing things, man.
You gotta stay off Twitter. You gotta stay off Twitter.
I'm hearing things. I'm seeing things and I'm hearing things, man. You know, you kind of alluding to wanting to go other places. You're not exactly saying where, but since you're here, you know, tell me about that. You having ideas of moving to the next chapter?
Yeah, I think that, I've been in Dallas for almost 10 years. I moved there
10 years.
in 2014 when I was like real low key, 2014. And then 2015 is when I actually kind of like got into like the music scene. So I feel like in 2014, I was like, oh, I'm like a new person in Dallas. Like, do what's Dallas have to offer? Go to the museums, do the nightlife shit and the downtown, Main Street and stuff. And then I did all that. And then I got into actually being in the scene in 2015. So I feel like I'm creeping on my 10 year, I've done what I can and I feel like I can do more in different places. And I feel like I've reached different people in different areas and like, they're like, you should move. Like, you should really move here. You should move there. Like, I'm like, okay, I'll think about it. So I feel like I've came to New York more times than LA and I was like really set on LA for a while. So I was like, I'm gonna move to LA because that's more my vibe because it's the beach. I want to learn how to surf. I want to be around. I want to like the rooftops, the views, and like I'm like, okay. And then I come to New York so much, it's like I click more with people in New York. Like I click more, like I'm more, I either am like chilling or I'm like, I'm going. Yeah. So it's like I feel like I can decide that. Yeah. Even being here, I was like, the first 2 days, I was like, yeah, I'm just chilling. Like I was like, and Graham was like, you need to be out. I was like, nah, I'm just but I'm relaxing real quick.
You felt in your space. You felt like at home kind of to a degree.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm just relaxing real quick. I want to see how it feels to relax in New York and not have to, because even if I was to move to New York, I'm not going to be on go every day. I'm going to still have my days where I'm just, to myself.
For sure, yeah. You can't be on. First of all, I don't got enough money to be on go every single day.
Yeah, I'm not trying to spend my money. I'm going to keep my money for as long as I can.
Listen, I love to hear you appreciate New York City in that way because I think, not even think, coming from Dallas, like when you hear about the first time I really knew about like young people taking flights was like only Los Angeles.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So I remember when I finally went to Los Angeles, I liked it. It was cool, but I ain't fall in love with it though. You know, it wasn't the
Mhm.
type of place that made me feel like I gotta come back. And
Right.
the first time that I came to New York City was because you were throwing an event out
Mhm.
here. And I had always wanted to come to New York City my whole life. Like I've always like idolized this place from afar, but
Right. Same.
I just never had same?
Mhm.
Okay, cool. But I never had just like put the steps in motion to make it happen. So when you were throwing your event, that was just the greatest opportunity for me. And literally from that moment, I think that's that
Eight,
2018,
18,
17?
18. That was first year I started Vibes actually.
The first year you started Vibes.
Yeah.
We need to get into what Vibes is in a second. But listen, after that trip, I was I got hit with the bug. Like I really did. Like I
Mhm.
remember I was leaving Jersey and I was on my way to meet y'all in Harlem and I was running late.
Mhm. Mhm.
And as I was running late, there was this white dude sitting across from me on the train. And he looked real familiar, but I wasn't 100% sure who he was. So I asked him, I was like, yo, you look real familiar. Like I thought he did like phone reviews on YouTube or something like that.
Mhm.
He laughed. He's like, no, I don't do phone reviews, but I do like work in the creative space. And then he showed me his Instagram. As soon as I grabbed his phone and I looked at the Instagram, I immediately got up out the chair. I was on the train, you know what I mean? So I
Mhm.
literally got up, everybody in the train kind of looking at me like, what's going on? And I was shocked to find out who he was because when I was a freshman in high school, I lived in Indiana with my dad, and I would skip class and go to the library and use Twitter because there were no Twitter apps on phones at that time. That
Mhm.
sounds mad crazy saying
Right.
that out loud, but like, and I would tweet this guy who's sitting across from me, and I would tell him like, one day I'm gonna meet you, and one day I'm
Mhm.
gonna be like your apprentice one day with all
That's
this
crazy.
shit, right? But like his name is Jonathan Mannion, and he's a professional hip hop photographer. He's taken some of
Okay.
the most prolific, legendary hip hop photos ever documented in life. And here he is right across from me
Okay. Yeah.
by
Well.
chance, by accident. And that was me running late to the event. But like that stood out to me so much because just the fact that you could run into somebody like that by a whim, by a
And to
chance,
just chill about it, like.
and just be chill about it. And I got his phone number and everything. And
Mhm.
that really stood out to me. So the first time I came to New York City was just pure magic, and I know I had to continue to come back. But I was in New
No,
York City
facts.
because of Vibes, Texas. So can
Which
you
is
please?
weird.
Is that weird?
It's not weird, but it's different. It's like
It's different
it's kind of like ironic. I feel like in a way,
for
just like
sure.
we're just doing what we want to do, and just doing it wherever we want to go do it at.
And then you see what comes from it after that.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way to really quantify like the domino effect that comes from that shit.
Mhm.
Like, you doing that decision for your brand actually changed so many other people's lives. It especially changed mine because I don't know when I would have came to New York.
Right.
I'm sure I would have. I don't
When
want
and
to say
where.
if, but I don't know when. And then would it have played out like this? Because the
Right.
way it played out is like remarkable.
Yeah, and that's too. Because I think I didn't. Yeah, I only went to New York one time before that, but I really was in Jersey, and then I came back to actually do some like, just some like running around type of stuff. But I was only here for one day, and I was like, I gotta come back. So then it just randomly happened, like a connection to do an event, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll go. I guess we'll just do it,
Yeah.
and it just played out. Like I'm still in contact with some of the people that actually was on the event, and
Mm.
even one of the guys that was a painter there.
Oh
He's
yeah.
painted another one of my painting, a painting of me, and it was in my art show that I did last year. I think it was like it was in like an art DJ event I did last year.
That's
Well, you
fire.
came to it. I think you or no, you didn't get to come to it
Yeah, I don't think I
last
came
year.
to that one,
So
man.
it was there, and
I've been missing
he had
out.
put the painting on the wall, and I
That's
was like, damn.
fire. That's fire.
So,
That's that impression you live on people. Listen, speaking of vibes, um, let's. I could explain how I feel about vibes, and I would be here talking all day. Might fuck around, start crying because I just love the brand so much. But
mhm.
like, can you tell us from your perspective what is Vibes Texas?
To me, I feel like vibes is somewhere for me, I can go and just, um, I guess be myself and be proud of something and something I like created to like bring more of people that's like minded together.
Hmm.
I would say like underdogs. People
Hmm.
that feel like they're underdogs, like feel like they don't have nowhere to go, or
Hmm.
no one like hears them or sees them, or like listens to what their music or watches them paint or wants to see their art, or even down to like jewelry, making jewelry, clothes, like anything that just makes them feel good. I feel like I want them to be able to bring it out. And
Yeah.
I feel like I wanted to create somewhere that people like me could come and do what they want to do.
Yeah.
And that's really why one of my phrases is do what you want,
Do what you
because
want.
that's why I want you to do what you want. And I always like when I send my like emails out to like vendors, like I was like, get creative as you want. Like this is, it's your
Yeah.
time to show people
That's what I
what
love
you
so
want.
much about your brand because it not only does it give a platform to like musicians, but it's people who trying to make money can come to your events and make connections, network with people, and make a dollar. Like number you
Hmm.
making t-shirts, you making candles, you got crystals,
Right.
whatever it is, like it's equal opportunity. You don't have to be the person on stage. You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't gotta be the star.
Right. Yeah, that's what it's really, because I'm really into like flea markets, and I always have been since I was little. Because my mom used to always take me to flea
Okay.
markets, and she would like take me get some like cotton candy and like the corn dog, and like I'd go to the jump house, and like she would walk around shopping, and we just had the food court, and music sometimes, or movies, or just different things that would go on, and like it'd be so many things going on in the flea market. Even now people selling puppies, so I was like, I can see myself doing this. And even when I was younger, I was like, I can see myself
Putting
doing this, but it
together.
didn't really click to me that I was doing it until like I started doing markets. So I started doing markets like a few months ago, and I was like, maybe this is what I was wanting to do anyway.
Wow.
So I was like, it didn't click to me that I really wanted to do markets until like I did a market, and I was like, oh, this is what I've been trying to do.
So you always love the energy of like what a flea market brings, like bunch of people coming together, trying to sell something. It's a
Yeah.
community, a high paced energy. Something about that you always loved.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like just a natural extension that you eventually got into like,
Yeah, we would be, because we would spend all day at flea market sometimes. I think one time my grandmother had bring our RV out, and we was at the
that's
flea market
fire.
all day, and we had an RV.
That's
And I'm like,
fire.
why are we here all day? And I'm just like, we're just here all day, and we have somewhere to sleep and stay because it's an all weekend flea
Yeah.
market.
Just seeing different people
Yeah, and
watching.
then I realized, because my mom, because I was like young, so I didn't know what we was doing. But after realizing, like my mom used to make these like crystals and like chandeliers.
Mm,
So she'd make like chandeliers. She'd spend all day working on some
that's fire.
chandeliers. So she'd make like crystal chandeliers, like not lights, but like the chandelier crystals. So it's like a chandelier, like some kind of pole or like wire, and she put crystals on the end of them,
That's
and
fire.
she would sell them at the flea market. And then
That's
she used to make
fire.
like heating pads. So she would sew up heating pads and sell them at the flea market. She made her own heating pads out of like, she had like deer corn in the heating pads. And you put it in the microwave, and you put it on like wherever you have paint.
Wow.
And she made these like like I guess bandana things to wear
Wow.
under their hats or helmets. And
Wow.
she really would sell them. And I'm like, we're at the flea market because she's actually selling something. But I'm like a child. So I'm like, why are we even here?
Right.
Like, so I'm like, I like it because we had fun. I get to sit in the RV and hang out with my grandma and the puppies and eat. So
Yeah.
I'm like, it was a good time for me. Stuff like that's really why I started doing what I'm doing, because I'm like, I can do that.
So would you say you got your entrepreneurial spirit from mom? You think she like planted that seed in you? Because she
Yeah.
was doing a lot. That's like it's a lot. My respectfully, my parents wouldn't doing nothing like that. So
Mm,
as, just watching
yeah.
her, you were inspired.
Yeah, my mom, she hustled. Like she always was doing something to
Mm,
make some kind of, and she still does it. I was like, you don't want to just sit down and like get a like chill 9 to 5 job maybe, like, because she's a massage therapist. I was like, you don't want to just go try to renew your license and just do massage therapist
right. Because
stuff.
she could have just did that.
Yeah, but I was like, because she just wants to like, she's like doing like remodeling on people's houses and stuff, and like
Yeah.
in like caregiver, like she has a few people that she watches, and she's just likes to spend time with them and like take
Yeah.
care of them, and like she like caregives and DIY projects. Like she has
Hmm.
so many DIY projects, and she,
That's you in a nutshell.
yeah, and she collects like things to sell. It's like she goes to flea markets and still does selling. Like she sells like vintage pieces and like fine china and things like that. She just finds cleaning houses and doing projects on houses. I'm like, you got a lot of stuff. I was like, you got a lot of stuff. So me and my sister have now. We were just talking. I was like, what if we just took the stuff that she has down there and just reconstructed it and made something out of it and helped her sell it
That's
in the flea
fire.
market.
That's
So we're
fire.
gonna do that in like in a few months when it cools down, because she has like a garage full of stuff
That's fire.
and a storage room full of stuff. I'm like, you're not doing nothing with this stuff.
That's fire.
So she's still trying to do something.
Shout out to
So
her, man.
yeah, she definitely showed me how to like make something out of nothing, because I'm like, she was always doing something and always trying to make some money. I'm like, okay, I guess that's how you're supposed to do
I'm glad you said make something out of nothing because I want to specifically talk about what Dallas was like before you got there because
it.
I think it could be so easy to look at what Dallas is now
Mhm.
and just think like, oh, it's just super cool place of artists and they all get along. Maybe not everybody, but for the most part, they get along and they
Mhm.
collaborate. But like once upon a time, I remember Dallas not being like what it is now. Like
Yeah.
the I would say the temperament of Dallas right now. I'm sure I'm sure a couple people helped usher it in technically, I guess, but for the most
Right.
part, like I can like trace it back to once vibes came, everything started to change. But what do you remember Dallas, specifically the Dallas music community being like before you really made a name in the city?
I feel like it was and I've
Feel
had
free
a
to be honest.
I've had like a debate with somebody that's like considered an OG in Dallas about
Okay.
this because they, some people ask you questions and some people don't. Like some people like, they want to know. And then when
Mhm.
you start telling them, they're like, oh, I shouldn't have asked. So it's like so to me, I feel like and still in some places, Dallas was real closed off to new things.
Okay.
Real closed off to, trying new things and allowing someone that's not popping a chance to do something.
Right.
And I feel like it was kind of backwards. I feel like, everyone's complaining about Dallas this, Dallas that,
Oh,
Dallas
for
doesn't do
sure.
this. And like,
Oh, for
but it's
sure.
like, but the people that have the opportunity to make some changes or do something different,
Mhm.
they want you to like crawl on the ground and do some tricks for it. And I'm
Mhm.
like, it just makes no sense. And I was like, so I was like a part of different things. I'm like, this is just not working for me because it's not really my vision. So I was like, I just tried a few different things with a few different friends and I just gradually started doing like, I can trust myself to do this by myself then. Cause I feel like you ask people or you tell people different things and they understand it, but they don't want to do it. So I'm
Mhm.
like, whatever, I'll just do it. I'll just
Yeah.
do it. Cause like no one wants to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna do it. And like even when I started out, I didn't have any money to do the event. I
Yeah.
had friends that helped me through the event.
Shout out to the friends, man,
So
for
I was
real.
like, I have this idea. I need this. I want to do this. I even was talking the venue down on like how much
On
to
the
charge
price and
me.
shit.
I was
Hey,
like,
a young
this is
shark
my
right here.
I was like, this is my first event. Like, I promise if we do this whatever, then I'm gonna keep doing it. And I did keep doing it. So I mean, they gradually started trusting me and trusting me and trusting me more at Green Elephant. And
Shout
I
out
started
Green
to be able to do a
Elephant,
lot of different
man.
things. I was like, what if we put the speaker outside? And I have music outside too, or what if I had a DJ outside too? Because I was like trying to bend so many rules with them. Like, so what if I have a DJ outside and a DJ inside, and I have my music inside and music outside, but I'm like performers are inside.
Just fully utilizing the
So I'm just like,
space.
I need to use this how I want to use it. I need the lights to come on. I said I don't want the lights to be off. I need more lights in here because my vendors can't see nothing that's going
Mhm.
on
It's all
when the lights
gloomy
are
and
off.
shit, yeah.
Yeah, so I need more lights. I need lights on. I don't need no lights off, like lights in the back. So it's like when I first started, I was like, I had to learn so much because it's like no one wanted to tell you nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, fuck it. I'm just gonna do this and see how it goes. And then like each time I kept doing it, I kept learning like what not to do the next time.
Yeah.
And
So
I
you
feel
learned
like
in, like, real time.
yeah, so I'm like, I'm just gonna learn on my own. So like I guess when folks would like like complain about things going on in the event, I would get offended because I'm like, did you do the event?
Right.
Did you put all this on?
Not even
And
knowing what it took to even make this happen.
yeah, I'm like, did you just like risk a lot of stuff to make this happen? Like, and like even with like artists, it's like they complain about stuff. It's like, but you don't even like
Hmm.
you don't even know what it took to get here.
Listen, we're gonna get into all that.
So I'm like, it took a lot for me to like not take things personal
Yeah.
over the years. But I feel like Dallas was just like really like closed off and like if you're not from Dallas,
Yeah. Or
you
not
don't
in a
you
certain
don't
clique or circle.
yeah, and even today, because like I have a few friends that be like, if you're not from Dallas, they gonna grill you, they gonna act like you don't exist and you have no input and whatever. I'm like, that's true. Cause I'm like, I whenever they be having them Dallas talks, I be like, I'll just be quiet. I'm
Dallas talks, like, as far as, like, on
like,
social
oh,
media?
people not from here or whatever. And I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what's the matter if somebody's not from here
Yeah.
if they're doing something that you haven't done?
Yeah, they contributing something positive just to for the look of the city. If it
Yeah.
makes the city look good.
Right. It's like because people want to be first to do everything. So when someone else is doing something that's like, oh, that's dope, they're like, oh, they're not even from Dallas, or people just keep coming here doing this, whatever. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's a good time to get them in there. Then
What
it's a
do
good time
you
to talk to them.
what do you think that's about though? Like when people, because that's just a thing that happens in Dallas. It's like a very much so part of the culture where somebody be like, "Oh, you from Arlington, like you're not really from Dallas." Because I think so when people say, even though it's the DFW, right? It's like on the fucking map, it's Dallas Fort Worth
Right.
Metroplex, nigga. So technically, all of this shit is underneath the umbrella. But like when we say Dallas, like for the most part, people are thinking like very exclusive to like somewhere in South Dallas or North Dallas, maybe somewhere else. But for the most part, if it ain't Pleasant Grove or Oak Cliff, North Dallas, Skillman, Ardelia area, whatever, that's if it ain't in that, then it's like, oh, well, you're an outsider. But what do you have any idea what that might even be about? Like, where does that come from?
I don't know. I think it comes from like there's so many things changing in Dallas. People that are been there for so long, they feel like they don't want to change. Like they don't like that people are coming here or coming there and like changing so much.
Hmm.
But people don't understand you have to change things to grow it. And you can't just if these things are not working, what we're doing this one thing, you have to add something else for it to go a different way. And I feel
Hmm.
like
That's so
it's just
man, that
like
was a bar.
a mindset of like not knowing how to
Mm,
do it themselves, so they feel like whatever you're doing is not going to work because
mm,
they feel like everyone's exhausted all their options.
yeah.
But I feel like even like when I first started Vibes, I didn't see nobody doing body paint at the event.
Nobody was doing
I
that.
didn't see no one put caring how
I never
much
knew
about the
nobody in
vendors.
life doing that. Like, maybe people was doing it in some places, but like once it was introduced into vibes, then you start hearing about like other events in other places. Maybe they're not even in
Yeah,
Texas, and they'd be like, "Oh,
yeah,
like it's body painting and shit now." It's like
yeah.
that was not a thing for real.
Yeah, I started peeping it, and I was like just peeping it, you start doing something, you see somebody else trying to do it and
Mm-hmm.
like run with it. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, at first it was like, damn, like it's like shit, like at least come to the event if you're gonna copy my whole flow. Like at least support or post a flyer. I had
Mm.
somebody try to come pass out flyers at my event. I'm like, I've never seen you come to
Yo,
my
that's
event.
so
And I was
disrespectful.
like, you take them flyers and go back to your
Yeah,
house.
that's
I was
so
like, it
disrespectful.
was
At
like
least tap in with
it was like, I'm
me.
trying to drop these off at somebody. I was like, they didn't ask me to pass out
Yeah.
flyers at my event, and you didn't even come into the event to attend, and you trying to drop
Wow.
some flyers off. So no. And
How,
I'm like, that's just, and it was somebody from Dallas. They like, oh, they're doing something popping. Let's not support it, but let's go use it to get our shit off. And like, at least support it. Even like people that
yeah.
perform, they want
Wow.
to perform. And I'd be like, okay, come to the event.
Hmm.
Like, if you can't come to the event and support someone
Just
else that's
tap in.
performing, then there's no point of you trying to perform. Because what I want to preach with and practice with my brand is support to be supported. And it's not like in a mean, ugly way. It's like
I love
if you
that.
want someone to support you, you have to learn how to support them too.
I love
And I
that.
feel like if you're gonna perform at my event, I have to know that you can support someone else whenever it's not your time to shine.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's also a
Mm.
reason why some people don't come to my event, because it's like
Mm.
I don't care how many followers you have, or
Yeah.
if you're when works with Kendrick Lamar, like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter to me because it's
Doesn't
not gonna make
matter.
my brand pop because you're still not supporting no one else besides yourself.
Right.
So if I have you on my event, how do I know you're gonna support me even if you're on the event? Like you're probably just
Yeah.
gonna perform and leave. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what you're
You're
gonna
gonna take
do.
whatever sauce you can get
Yeah,
and then be done when
and
this is
that's why I don't also like sharing like set times, because people come to see this one person
what you wait, so what do you
like
mean?
sharing set times. Like I don't post my set times for the world to like see my
Oh
set
yeah,
times.
you
Cause
don't.
I don't want you to feel like, oh, me come at 9 p.m. because Joe performs at
Oh
9 p.m. and miss
wow.
all the other up and coming artists that haven't even got a time to
Yeah,
shine.
wow.
So I usually put like my main acts that everyone wants to come see in the middle. So like you have to be there still when someone else is
Yeah.
performing. You don't come last when the event's closing because then you're gonna miss somebody. So
Wow.
I'm like, I feel like people just do what they want to do and feel like no one is like paying attention. I'm like, I pay attention to these things because I once was a consumer. So like I know like, I know how it feels to like want something, but I also had to learn like pay your dues. And I really believe in that because I paid my dues with a lot of people
Mhm.
in Dallas when I first started getting, what is
Mhm.
this? Who is this person?
Mhm.
Oh, this person does this. Oh, who like how long they been doing that? Like things like that. I'm like, okay. So I'm
Yeah.
learning things from people that people consider OGs in Dallas
Mhm.
by just like not even knowing they OG in Dallas. Like, oh
Yeah.
damn, you do this? Like that's what's up.
Yeah.
Like it's like, you have to treat people like a human being first. Like, I'm not gonna fan out anybody because I'm like, I don't want anyone to fan out on me because I feel like, everyone can be who I am or be
Right.
what I'm
You
doing
just
or
put the work in.
just like, it's not that hard. I feel like I do make it look easy sometimes because,
Mhm.
I'm just not always like just doing everything and always outside, but I feel like it definitely took a lot of work, patience, money,
Yeah, we're gonna get
time and
into all that. I
energy.
got questions for sure. We're gonna get into all
So
that.
yeah. And I will say like when I first started doing events and then vendors would come back to me, they were like, "Yeah, the event was cool, but they didn't really care about the vendors." because like people started doing events and like adding vendors, like art, music, whatever, and they was like, yeah, it's like we really missed vibes because people had vendors, but they didn't really care about the vendors. They just had us
Yeah.
thrown in the back.
And you care about your people.
Yeah, I
You
care
do.
about. I really put a lot of energy into everything. Like I even tell like vendors, like I'll place you in a position where I feel like you would make the most money. Put you somewhere that makes more sense. I'm not gonna put you beside someone that's doing the same thing you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put you somewhere else that makes more sense.
Yeah.
And like I feel like a lot of people when I first started going out, I could see that they didn't care. Like vendors just run around, like don't know what's going on at the event.
Right.
And now like I've been doing events so long, I know what vendors gonna ask.
Yeah.
So I automatically put everything in my vendor sheet. Like this is what you may need. This is what you could bring. This is what, mandatorily you should bring this and like things like that. Because I've went through like vendors like, damn, you don't have no chairs. It's like, damn, like this venue don't provide tables. So now I'm like, yes, bring tables and chairs. So like that's like, damn, you ain't got no chairs. So I'm like, now I have like 6 chairs that I own now, just in case like I got chairs, like I got tables.
Just in case you need some.
I was like, I'll bring some. I'm like, damn. So I'm like, oh man. I was like, well, learn that. But I feel like when I first started doing events, I was kind of like forced to like do everything on my own because I didn't have the funds to like do this and do this and do this. And like people see, oh, you're doing events, you're making money, so you need to give me this. So I'm like, okay, damn, I'll just do it myself because I'm like, damn, I don't know how to do sound, but I had to get speakers. I eventually learned how to do sound because I had worked with so many different sound guys. And shout out to Bray because Bray's like definitely been a guy that I can just lean on, and he understands like shit ain't cheap. So
yeah,
but I work with sound guys. They just be up there, just not doing nothing, and the sound just be sounding shitty. I'm like, can you not? If I can hear that, I know you can hear that.
Yeah, if I can real quick, I last time I was home, we saw each other last time I was there. Damn, I don't want to say too much, but we were at an event, local music shit, as Dallas usually does, and man, the sound system was so bad. It was so bad.
And sometimes people don't know.
It was so bad. It was just like the whole show is over for real. It's just like a bunch of niggas jumping on stage because it's like I can't really truly make out what the artist is saying. And that's important. That. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hate that. And I've had a few like even trying new venues out is hard because like you don't know what to expect. So I've had a few venues like I'm like, damn, like you got a sound guy here running around, and I'm not I don't know what he running around for.
Yeah.
Like, you got a sound guy going out taking smoke breaks, and this music sounds shitty. Like, why am I having
this nigga in the front getting high as hell whole time?
Why is he smoking? And like, I need someone to come in here. I got someone singing on stage, and I can't hear nothing she's talking about, and I know the song.
Man, that's fucked
so I'm
up.
like, it's like you have to put you have to think about everything, because I feel like when I first started, I had to do everything, and I am happy that I did everything because I feel like I tell people. It took me having to do every job to appreciate every job.
Yeah.
Like even down to like my like people walking around or my security, like everyone that is doing something, like damn, like this is kind of tedious. Like you having to pat everyone down when they come in the event, like and listen to their attitudes and shit. Act like they just they shouldn't be patted down to get into the event.
Niggas think they fucking Hollywood stars.
Yeah,
and shit.
And I tell everyone, I was like, I'm never not having security because like it's been several times when someone tries something, but no one knows because I have security, and like people will try. Yeah, people will try. I'm like, yeah, I'm never not gonna have security. So I'm like,
wow.
It's just down to different things. I'm like, I have to have these things. So in order for me to do an event that I actually really want to be proud of, I have to make sure I have like certain funds or certain things.
Because you gotta pay these people.
Yeah. Like and then people be trying to like get upset when like you don't have them on a guest list or something. I'm like, okay, well, like if I let you in, I gotta let my best friend in, and then like all my other friends, I gotta let them in too, because it's like I have to let everyone else in too. I was like, and if you can't afford to come, I have no problem with saying, I got you. I have no problem with telling any of my friends that. Sometimes I have my friends on the list and they don't even know. I'd be like, why you pay?
I had you covered already.
I seen the notification. Why'd you pay? And he's like, it's cool. I was like, okay, well, shit. Thank you. But like, it's good to have friends that actually want to support and know what you put into it. So that's why they do support.
Yeah. Wow. Now you're killing it right now, for real. How hard is it to run a business? How hard is it?
How hard is it?
Shout out my man P Dub. He's in the room with us right now. Adding to the
He
energy, adding to the vibe right
right.
now.
um, I think it's hard. It's really hard actually. It only becomes hard because it's like you have to be aware of everything.
Mhm.
Like it's like be aware of everything, and even when you don't expect it, things happen, and like you have to be able to pivot real easy and real good. You, I feel like you have to just have that mindset or have it in you. Like I feel like some people don't have it in them.
Like they're not built for it.
Yeah, it's like some people are built for it, some people are not. I feel like you have to also be able to put people before you. I
Oh
feel like
yeah.
you have to be able to be selfless. You have to be able to be okay with someone else shining because
Mhm.
it's your business. Like I feel like even with me, like before I was like, I don't even want my face to be on vibes.
Mm.
Like I don't even want to like don't even post don't tag.
Yeah.
And I used to get upset like people be tagging me or tagging vibes when it's me, and I'm like, ugh, I want to share this, but I'm like. Like I want to share this, but it's just like I can't. It's like, I want to share it so bad. It's a good picture, but I'm like, but now I'm getting more into like, okay, I guess I'll be more vocal, more on my platform more, because I started working with a woman that has a business in Dallas, and I was telling her like how I admire how she just puts herself on her
Mhm.
platform that's not her personal page,
Yeah.
and she was like, yeah, it's like people didn't know who's the boss behind it,
Mm.
and I was like, you're right.
And you leaning toward that more
Yeah.
so these
I was
days.
like, you're right. I was
Wha-
like, I'm gonna try.
So why is that though? Like, what is the benefit that you think comes from like allowing your persona to be more closer next to the actual brand? Because the brand is like faceless to a degree. If
It
somebody
is.
doesn't personally know who you are.
Right. Yeah, it is. And I really wanted it to stay that way, but I feel like now I'm getting to where I'm getting more okay with like being able to be on it and like be seen on it, but not more of like, oh, it's my platform. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, hey, this is my platform. Yada, yada.
Mhm.
I'm gonna still keep it cute and like be like, still fly on the wall, but not fly on the wall. I may like put something out about like our owner or whatever one day. I still haven't figured out how I want to like just put myself out there like that still. But I feel like the benefit would more so just be like allowing people to see who it is. And they might respect it more, I may not respect it. It depends on that person. Like I feel like when people say when people know like or find out like, oh, it's a woman doing vibe sex, like damn. It's like it's been a woman the whole time. I'm like, I mean, I feel like my platform is kind of girly a little bit sometimes. Like, I mean, I do girls events and they go off. So I feel
You
like
think it's girly sometimes?
sometimes, yeah. Like the colors I be using sometimes, I guess. Well, I guess it really doesn't matter, but I
Yeah.
feel like when I do girl events, they pop the most.
Yeah, it just make this. Yeah,
So
it
it's
just makes
like I would
sense.
feel like maybe it is a woman running that because her lady events be popping the most. So,
Yeah,
but
we
I
don't.
feel like I guess you can't really tell because even my
Yeah,
logo is like very like simplistic. So it's like
yeah, for sure.
it's just there.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really tell, and like your events, like you have like hardcore hip hop shows at your shit. That
Hmm.
doesn't necessarily scream femininity immediately, but at the
Oh
same
yeah,
time, you got like the dopest women and musicians who contribute to music in that city, also there repping at the same time. So it's kind of amazing how you just have this ability to be in both worlds 100% equally, and nobody's like trying to like I don't know, do some weird shit that men usually try to do to women. It was like, oh, what you know about real hip hop or some shit like that. It's like,
hmm
I'm literally I am the table that the real hip hop that you appreciate in Dallas stands on.
right.
Is that okay for me to say that? Does that sound weird?
No,
Hell
it does.
no.
It doesn't. I feel like I've had a lot of people perform my event. A lot
Yeah.
of people,
A lot of
that
great
yeah, a
people
lot of people that
that are gonna be
can
stars. They're
yeah
stars now, but like the
yeah
rest of the world eventually will
yeah
start to be aware of them. And like these artists, they some of the things that they're learning now is gonna benefit them when they're in front of a couple thousand people.
right.
But they literally getting the real life experience from it now though.
Even down to like the like the process of like getting a part of it, or like being a part of it, or like even like getting booked or anything like that.
For
It's like
sure.
um I used to have like a conversation with one of my event managers, and I was like, she was like, yeah, they asking for another guest on their plus list. I mean on their guest list. I was like, well, we've already gave them 5. And she was like, I know. It's like, but they pulling that. It's like they pulling that I don't know the word for it right now. They're pulling that that local stuff. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, got to get this, and I didn't know this. I'm like, well, if they was really somewhere else, if Live Nation was booking them
It's not
and Live
happening.
Nation said 5 people, it'd be 5
It'd be
people.
5 people. Yeah.
So why would I change anything that I've already put in the contract that they signed?
Yeah.
And that kind of looked at that like I told him, you can get a discounted ticket for your person, but I feel like it
And
just
that's love still.
yeah, I'm like it's just like you feel so close, so they feel like things can get
Yeah.
pushed around or whatever. But I feel like I try to run my business the way I'd run my business in 10 years. Like if I'm still gonna be, this still me, but I still have like it's a business. Like I can't let your whole family into the event for free because
Right.
then how am I gonna pay you?
Yeah. For sure.
Like how am I gonna pay you if all your family's in here free
For
cheering you
sure.
on? I appreciate them being there
Yeah.
because of course you want it to look full, but I
Mhm.
also don't want to be in debt or like have to owe you and now you on Instagram or Twitter like, oh, Vibes didn't pay me.
Mm.
And now I'm the bad guy when we just told you, hey, it's not like that. It's not personal. It's like it really is business. Cause like it was like I think a $20 ticket to get in. I'm like, if we let everybody in free, like we're gonna have to let somebody else on the other person's team in free now because we're letting everyone else get extra people. So I'm like, I just try to like practice things that I would want to stay in place when I'm, doing bigger shows and bigger
Mhm.
events. And people think that, this is like, I don't know if they do or maybe they don't, but I feel like people think that this is your end goal. I'm like, it's not my end goal. Like, you don't know where I'm gonna be in 10 years, and you don't know if you're gonna see me in 10 years either. You
That's a
don't know
fact.
if I'm gonna be the deciding factor if you're doing this or doing
That's a
that with a
fact.
different company because
I
you don't
mean,
know who I'll be working
that
with.
is gonna be the situation.
Yeah,
You're
and I
gonna
was
be the
like,
deciding
and
factor.
so I would treat everyone like, okay,
Yeah.
I don't be beefed out with nobody because I'm like, okay, I don't need to beef with you. I don't need to be going back and forth with you about something.
Right.
I'm like,
For
I
what?
said what I had to say, and that's it. So like, I'll see you soon though, because
Yeah.
you're gonna see me before I
Oh
see
yeah.
you.
You definitely gonna see
So I'm
me.
like, okay, that's cool. Like I don't argue or beef with anybody because it's like it doesn't make sense for me to be arguing or beefing with anybody when I have a business.
Mhm.
Like I mean, it's I guess an image I have to like uphold because I don't want anyone to feel like I'm out here just doing anyone dirty. I don't want
Right.
anyone to feel like I'm just out here just doing anything and just getting pushed over because she a woman. She go do this and she do that. I'm like, no, I like, and I told my event manager, I was like, do you think that artists would be asking us this if I was a man? Do you really think that they would be arguing with us over one person getting it free if we were men? She was like, no.
And why do you think that is?
Because I feel like men think women are like easily persuaded or
Mhm.
it can easily just do things that they wouldn't do for men. I feel like men feel like I don't know. I feel like men feel like women don't have as much power as men do
Mhm.
in certain rooms. And I feel like that's why I enjoyed not having Vibes Texas and me like this
Understood.
because I even got like one of my mentors. He's like, don't name your business after you, because I was gonna do like Rome Productions or like Rome
Mhm.
something. He was like, don't name your business after you.
Mhm.
He's like, people are gonna be shocked when they see it's a woman.
Yeah. And that'll give them ideas. They'll feel motivated. It's like, oh, I can
Yeah.
figure some way to get around this because it's like maybe when you think of it just as a brand, which is faceless, genderless, right? Maybe the brand in itself is a little bit more like, oh, like it's an entity, it's a corporate, it's a wall, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But then you think as a person, it was like, oh, it's this girl, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And maybe that's not the way they
Mhm.
should look at it. Let me ask you this: from a scale to 1 to 10, um, how pretentious is it dealing with local artists? Like, because you hear about them having like this Hollywood energy to them. It's nothing wrong with having your own self-worth and knowing that, but it seems like people are they act and they move almost as if they've already made hundreds of thousands of dollars, as if they've already won Grammys and stuff like that. So, and it's a thin line because you want your artist to be confident, but at the
Right.
same time, it's like not to the point where you treat people wrong or make people feel small or act
Right.
like you're above the program that
Right.
everybody else got to walk through. So, like,
Right.
at a scale from 1 to 10, right? 10 being the most, the temperament of Dallas, right? The energy, all the people that you deal with. How many of them from 1 to 10 do you think like have that chip on their shoulder?
I would say I'm in the middle because I don't work with artists like that, and
Mm,
I make it a point
talk
not
your
to.
shit.
As soon as an artist like makes me feel like I need them more than they need me, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm good on you.
Which is insane.
So I'm like, I don't work with any artists like that. Like, it's a few artists that people just be talking about sometimes, and I be like,
But you did once upon a time,
yeah,
though,
I did
right?
once upon a time. Like, I
Hmm.
always give everyone, the option to, prove me wrong or right, whatever it is. But it's like once you just rub me the wrong way when it comes down to me being genuinely here for
Mhm.
you and like genuinely pushing you or even having you on my platform. If
Yeah.
I have anyone on my platform and they feel the need to disrespect me or
Disrespecting you is
or
crazy.
say
You in my house.
anything out of line when they feel like I'm not there,
Mhm.
it's like you doing you working backwards
W
because like I don't feel like I've made it or I'm the shit or anything like that, but I'm pretty much
You
someone
accomplished,
that has
though.
a really good platform in
Yeah.
Dallas that
You're an accomplished woman.
a lot of people respect. And there's a
Mhm.
lot more people respect me than disrespect me. So it's like I have a lot more respect and a lot more love than I have like hate. And
Yeah.
that's what I'm okay
That's
with.
beautiful.
I don't, of course, people are going to hate on you or hate what you're doing or hate because you didn't do this or you didn't pay them this much or you didn't do this or like anytime you say no to somebody, they act like you never say yes. So I feel
Yeah.
like
I
that's
hate
the
that
type of
that's
artist.
true.
Yeah. Anytime I've like done so much for some people, and they just like kind of spit in your face, it's like, I was like,
That's so
I was like, I didn't even
crazy.
have to even have you here. And it's
That's
like,
so crazy.
and it's like, I don't work with artists that feel that way about themselves or anybody else around them because I feel like we all need each other. So
Yeah.
why would I allow you to keep working with me or working with you when you don't even respect the people around you?
So let me ask you this. What are some of the things that artists, like, have known to do that, like, get underneath your skin immediately? Like, what are some of the things that they do that just, like, tick you off? Like, they come through with this artist ego machismo, thinking they bigger than everybody. Like, what are some of the things that they might do and it's like red flag number one?
Mm, tweet about business too much.
Speak about business too
Tweet
much?
about business. People
Tweet
that
about.
tweet about business that they're doing, it's like, why are you tweeting about this?
Mm.
Like this is something that you have a business agreement with somebody and you're coming to social media. It doesn't really give me business minded. Like it
Oh, get
doesn't
what
make
you're
me feel like you're
saying.
about your business because you never know
Like they
who
airing shit out and shit like
yeah,
that?
like it makes me feel like you don't even know where this person is gonna go, and you don't know
Right.
where you're gonna go. You don't ever know what you may need or what they may need, and they may want to reach out to you, but they can't now
Yeah, because you
because
talk a little too
you
much.
just talk shit about me all on Twitter. So it's like,
That's
why would I
sad.
even work with you and you disrespecting me for no reason?
That's
Like it's like,
sad.
and it happened to me before too. I'm like, why would I even like people would mention somebody that like I don't like rock with because of like how they act. Cause I know
Mhm.
like I'm good when like how I can apologize, like, you know, I can let go of shit quick. And I'm like, okay, I mean, it's a conversation.
Mhm.
So like everyone has different conversations, everyone has different ways of living. And I feel like if you just move the way you want to move and like if you fuck up and you're okay with apologizing, then that should be okay for you. Like you should be able to move on from that. But if you can't understand that when you fuck up and not apologize and like feel like,
Mhm.
oh, time will erase everything and it's not going to
'Cause
erase
that's
things.
probably what
Because
they really think.
yeah, but people remember a lot of things,
Yeah,
especially
I
when
mean,
you're
how can you
starting out in your
forget?
career too. Like
For
when you're starting
sure.
out in your career, you're gonna remember people who try to knock you down
Mhm.
the most.
Mhm.
Like I will always remember every single person that tried to knock me down or try to talk shit about vibes when they feel like I wasn't around thinking. And then some folks to this day I have blocked. I've had blocked since I started vibes. So it's like I don't forget about things like that because it's like it's kind of like someone talking about your kids.
Of
Like
course.
this my kid.
Of
My kid
course.
don't have nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
That kid didn't do nothing to you. That kid actually helped you. Like as some people I've helped and people met through my platform and they just be talking shit.
I've met so many people through Vibes. Like, actually, when I was living in Dallas, like, Vibes was just a great way to keep money in my pocket because I was
Mhm.
doing music videos.
Mhm.
And so I'm meeting all these artists, or even if it's not somebody that's actually there, like, I'll get their information and then they'll connect me through somebody else or whatever.
Right.
So your platform makes people money in so many different ways. Like, there's the money that you take home, and then there's the money that you just unaccounted for because it's
Right.
like other people are benefiting off of that.
Right. Yeah, and that's why I'm just like I don't deal with artists like that because it's like there's so many other artists in the world in Dallas alone too that I can work with versus working with someone that does
Mm.
not respect my platform or me. Like it comes one in one. Like you got to respect both of us. So I'm like I don't work with artists that just have a chip on their shoulder, like you know, or artists to be like acting like people from not from Dallas can't do this and do that. I don't like work with those people because
Yeah.
it's like we're not even on the same page. Like we don't have
I
nothing in common.
I think that when people try to, like, exclude people, like, "Oh, you're not from Dallas, you from Arlington," or something like that. I think really what they're doing is they're acknowledging that there's something good about this artist. There's something that's like quality about them. But now I gotta slight you a little bit because you're not really from these streets like
You're not
us.
really about it.
You know what I mean? So like you're dope. And that's the reason why I gotta slight you because I can't let you be all the way there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you got the music, you got the look, you got a group of people who fuck with you, but then I gotta point out that this nigga's really from like Forney, Texas or some shit. I don't know. Something like that, just so I could like never fully allow you to be what you think is to be like fully embraced.
Right.
I think that's what it's about. So let me ask you this.
Mm.
You're throwing these events.
He hot. He got the little joint in his hand waiting.
You're throwing these events. Could you please walk me through how these events even happen?
Now him try to get the sauce out. He's like, give me the sauce.
No, not the sauce,
He's
not
like,
the
give
sauce.
me the sauce in the
Just
platform now.
whatever you feel comfortable sharing. Like, because really, like, I asked that question for God knows who would be listening that would like somehow have a spark happening once it's like, oh, like it's not trigonometry, maybe. You know what I mean? It
Right.
could be a little simpler than I thought it would. 'Cause, you know, sometimes starting is the most overwhelming thing to
Oh
somebody.
yeah.
You know, so like whatever you feel comfortable sharing, like what are some like steps, like even just like mentally, like how do you know when it's time to throw another show? Like are they like clockwork every 2 weeks, every week? Like
They used to be every month when I first started out, and then it started being like every other, quarter.
mm,
And then I stopped for like 6 months to like regroup and like, get my mind right. I feel like I was on a gerbil, like what's them gerbil reels or whatever.
just cranking. You
Hamster
definitely was
wheel.
cranking them out when I lived in
And
Dallas
I
for
was like,
sure.
I need a break or something. I need to relax. So I just, took 6 months, probably no 7 months, I think 7 months, just to like step back, have a little fun because I'm gonna turn 30. So I'm having a little fun and like just traveling some more with friends and just like, just having like a little mental like
Yeah, you
break.
time.
Yeah, like just
Yeah.
like I'm gonna
You
step
are
back,
not your
whatever.
business. You're somebody who has a business.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm just gonna take a step back, but working on like um I'm working on like a calendar now to like how I want to like do the next round of events out and like what I want to do. So I'm just working on that platform right now on what I want to do, how I want to do it, going forward. I'm still working through some kinks, and I think that mentally when I prepare for an event, I try to do things now like the day before, like get things now, and then like I make a list of things to do and the things of what I need to bring
Hmm.
to the event. And I just in the morning, if I haven't done it the night before, I just go through my checklist and walk through my house and like put
Mm.
this in a box, put this in a box, make sure I go to the store to get this, and like just mentally, get myself together. Cause I mean, I feel like I am an extrovert, but I'm also introverted. So I feel like I'm
Mm.
just like I'd be like, okay, let me get my mind together because I'm
Yeah.
going to talk. I'm going to be social. I got to
Right,
be
right, right.
this.
'Cause you gotta
People,
turn, you
they,
gotta put it on a little
yeah, they're
bit.
gonna be calling me for this, calling me for that. I gotta,
Mm.
I can hear 23 now. Romii, like come to the front. So I'm like, I can hear like things like already that's happened before. So I'm like, okay, let me get my life together. Just checking with people, like make sure everyone's good to go. Check on times, like be here at this time, like just
Mhm.
doing everything I need to do to make sure when I get there, I'm good. Like everything that, you know, anything I need to get from the store, I got it. Just everything that I need to get and do is done by the time I get there. If I have someone doing errands, I make sure that everyone's, good with the errands. Vendors, send my last, see you here this time. Make sure you bring this, and this. Like all that, I have to do that. And like I did I did kind of regroup. I did kind of regroup. So now I do it pretty much all on my own still.
Mm.
I'm still working on like how I wanted to like build my team this time, how I want to like what I want to do or like where I want to go and like what type of people I need on my team because I feel like people kept saying, Romy, you need a better team. You need to get
Mm.
some more people on your team. You need to do this. You need to do that. Like you need to have a solid team. I still have my solid 2, 3, 4 maybe people that I just like really lean on. But I feel like I was like doing a lot of work for a lot. Doing a lot of work when I didn't have to do a lot of work, when I had people that I should have been able to lean on that I wasn't able to lean on. So I was like,
Mm.
I need to take a step back and I need to like stop trying to feel like I have to like bring my friends in to do everything for me, or to bring my friends in to do this and do that and expect them to be able to do this, when sometimes your friends are just your friends. Like they
Hmm.
don't understand like
Yeah, that's a hard
this
lesson
is
right
this is
there.
a lot. This is a lot on her
Yeah,
mentally. Like I be overwhelmed. Like I have so much things.
yeah,
Sometimes I have like 20 vendors to talk to and like 5 artists and then the whole crew to talk to. Then I
yeah,
gotta make sure my sound is good, make sure
yeah.
my host is on time, make sure my DJs are good, make sure all the music is sent to the DJs, make sure all my vendors know what time to be there, what to bring, what not to bring, where to go. And it's like so many things going on one time. So I feel like when you work with your friends, it's like they don't you try to be nice about it, but it's because it's hard to be mean about it. Because I don't want to say mean, but
I
it's like
get
it's
you. I get
hard to
what
be
you're
like,
saying.
no, like this is no, we're not doing that. No, you can't have all these people come in for free.
Do you
That-
get to enjoy your shows?
I do now. I do now. I feel like before I wasn't having the best time I could have there because I was like worried about every little thing that
Hmm.
had to go, had to
People
be
pulling you in
done.
every direction of the
Yeah.
venue. You
Yeah.
back and forth, back and forth,
And
back and
that's why
forth.
when 23, he'll be calling me, like calling me and calling me, and I'm like, I'm just outside smoking right now. Like I'm outside. I'm just outside taking a break. I'm taking a break.
Yeah.
Like I'm on break right now. So now like I enjoy it more, and I have like, I have a real good support system. I have really good friends that like what you need. Like I have friends now that they'll text me like the day before or the day of, like, hey, you need any help today?
That's
Or
hard.
hey, what you
As they
need?
as they should,
What
man.
you need me get? What you need me to get anything on the way? Or what are you doing before the event?
Yeah.
And I'll tell me like, can I come? Can I come help you? Like I not like people like that because it's
Yeah.
like that's the kind of friend I am.
Yeah.
I'm a friend, kind of friend like,
Likewise.
what do you need? Like
Hmm.
what are we doing? Like I'm gonna be at the event. I'm gonna be here. Like even like with Tev, like when Tev got something going on, I'm like, okay, so what do we need to do? Like
Hmm.
what is needed or whatever. Or he'll already know that I'm bringing something.
Hmm.
He'll say something that's wrong, or like say something like, okay, well, I got this.
I got this.
So it's
Yeah.
like,
You focus on that. I got you on
yeah, so
this.
it's
Yeah.
like friends that, what do
Shout out
you
to.
need? Like, I got this, I got you some food, I got you some drinks, I got you like I got the water, like things like that. It's like people that understand, like, damn, she doing a lot of shit right now.
Yeah.
And know, like, it's good money whenever it's good money, but when it's not good money, it's like you gotta understand it's not good money. So I feel like even me and 23 have these conversations. It's like, sometimes we do events just to do events, and like we don't
Hmm.
expect anything out of it because it's like,
That leads me to my next
we're
question.
just
That's
gonna
perfect.
we're just here to have a good time. We're here to help people
Hmm.
meet each other.
Yeah.
We're here to network. We might do a free event, like,
Hmm.
if it's free, I'm gonna try to make sure we make some money. But if it's
Hmm.
free, it's like we really don't, have
But
any
it
money coming
always
in.
costs you money to make the events,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
So, and if you don't have to answer, this is But what I want to ask you is, how much does it cost usually to even keep vibes alive? Like, what is it like? What type of number has to maintain, whether it fluctuates or not, to even make it happen?
Like an event, or just like an event, or
An event, or just like, because it's a thing that's constantly happening. So you have to have a certain amount of money or something in a range of to always be available to even get it going.
yeah. I think. Well, I would say I'll answer like first where I want it to be comfortable for me to like keep it flowing.
Got you.
I would say the events that I want to do. I think that I would say like where I want, if I was able to pay people the way I want to pay them, and
Hmm.
do the event how I want to do it, and like not have to like ask a friend to do this, do these favors or
Hmm.
whatever. I would say like 5 to 10,000
Hmm.
an event.
I had a feeling you
If
was gonna
I'm
say
doing it
that.
how I want to do it,
Hmm.
I can make it the way I envision it. Then 5 to 10,000, and that's just like
That's a
being
lot.
able to do it. And then like, but I be making it work with like, I think we made our last big one work like with, how much did we spend? I think we made it work at like
Well, I feel like you're gonna say,
5,000 or
oh
like
wow.
three
I was
thousand.
gonna say, well, I feel like you're gonna say three. I got a
It was
feeling,
like
yeah.
3 to 5,000. The one you came to, I think we made it work with like 3 to 5,000, and that was like really just me like sitting down and thinking like, how can I put this event on the way I want to put this event on and not go in debt?
You
Because
ever?
it's like I have to figure out like how to do this. Because of course my finance guy will have money for it, but I don't want to
Hmm.
have.
Of course,
I don't want
yeah.
my finance guy to have to pull out of his
Yeah,
pocket if we
yeah.
can make the money
That's
for the
not the
event.
mission. Not to
Yeah,
lean back on him. He's
yeah,
there, and that's great. You know what I
yeah.
mean? But all in all, we don't even want to bother him when it comes to
Right.
that.
I don't want to have to. And I even told him, I was like, because I think I did a few events like without like having him like come in. I was like, yeah, I did them because I was trying to test these out before we just put money into these.
Hmm.
Like I was trying to test out, these two new events before we just kind of put money into it, so we can make sure, it works out. And, he didn't like that. But because he's like, you don't need to be getting out of you don't need to be going, in a hole for something when we can make it do it. Like we do it differently. I was like, well, it works. So I was like, it works. I want to do this. So it's like it costs a lot of money, like, and like I feel like a lot of the time I was doing vibes when I first started doing it, like probably the first 2 to 3 years, I was really like just getting by with the events, like just barely getting by,
Mhm.
just making enough
Just
to
barely
pay.
recouping and shit,
Yeah,
yeah.
just pay and like maybe splurge on a meal or something after just to celebrate. Like it's like people really think it's like,
Did
oh,
y'all
she
hear
making
that?
money.
Did y'all hear that? I wanna make sure people heard that because it's like, you're putting on events that is packed out.
Mhm.
People all type of shit happen at your events, like, I was about to say something mad crazy, I ain't even about to say it, but, like, Imma say it,
Mhm.
fuck it. It's like, so it's people getting hooking up with people. It's like a mini city happening, you know what I mean? And then sometimes you just break even, which is at the worst is what you want it to be, you know what I
Right.
mean? But then it's like you only got enough money to just get you a decent little meal, and then it's
Yeah.
like nothing sexy though.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, that's why I was like, I was not having a good time doing it because it's like, I think it was like more so like the type of people that, not type of people, but like
Man,
sometimes type of people that you work with or like have on your event or whatever. It's like, I'm doing all this
yeah,
and barely making money to even go buy me a
yeah.
new outfit or something. And you over here complaining.
Complaining, don't even know you working
And you
hard.
got your money for your rent and you making money. I'm still paying
I mean,
you.
you just came and had fun and went home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This is
I'm
fun. This
still
is fun to
I'm
you.
still wiping the baby's ass, changing his
Right. This is
sheets and shit.
this is still funny. And I'm like, and that was like back when, and I still clean up the whole event by myself and with
Yeah, you
other
do.
friends and stuff. Like that's back when I was like cleaning up the event by myself because I couldn't afford to pay somebody to come clean it. So I'm like, I'm cleaning up all this shit. A lot of folks don't know how to clean up after themselves at events anyway. Like, to be throwing stuff everywhere. I'm like, I'm cleaning up the parking lot with my friends. Like,
Mhm.
got my friends inside, taking down decorations and stuff. We're all here working and stuff,
It's
and
a
like
lot.
people complaining. It's
It's
like
a
there's no
lot.
point in complaining because it's like,
Yeah.
and that's why when people complain, I'm like, okay, well, thank you for complaining
Yeah,
and
may
showing
peace
me who
be
you
upon you
are,
for
and
sure.
have a good time on your career. And I mean, like, it's not gonna be here. Like, I have for sure told a few of my friends, like, yeah, that person's never gonna perform at Vibes again.
Mm,
Like, I've literally said that a few
mm,
times. Like, yeah, they're never gonna perform here ever again. I'm never gonna
mm.
post them. I'm never gonna act like they matter.
They ever try to spin the block?
Yeah, yeah.
I would be hurt if you said told me some shit like that. I would be
Yeah, I
hurt.
was like, no, like we don't need your business because I'm
Mm.
really on that. Sometimes like we have the right to refuse
Oh,
business.
for sure.
That's
Yeah,
me. That's
for
me because
sure.
I'm like, okay, like that's good for them. Like even when things happen, like that's good for them. Like that's good that they're doing that. Like we're doing this over here
Yeah,
too.
we
So it's
doing
like,
this. Yeah,
I don't like have time to like, spend too much time on the bad seeds when there's so many
yeah,
good seeds that are just growing and flowing and like
yeah,
understanding the vision with vibes, understanding my purpose, understanding
yeah,
like what I'm here for them to do.
yeah,
Use me for this and I can use you for that. Like we're both using each other for the same thing. We're growing each other, watering each other's plants. If Larry June, we're watering each other's plants. I'm like, we're both doing something
yeah,
on this. Like we're both doing something. So I'm like, if you don't see it, it's not. I'm not here to like help you see it.
yeah,
Like, cause I've done it so long. It's like if you can't see it and you've known me so long, if you can't see it, you're never gonna see it. So it's like there's no point in me keep talking to you. So I was
yeah.
like, okay, like cool. Like, it's like you live your life, I live mine.
I
And that's
think
just how it is.
I think anybody listening to this will be for anybody who doesn't like really even know you that well, even me in this moment, you know what I mean? Like you just sound so wise and you sound so developed, like you sound like while building this brand, you've had to grow a lot and you've had to
Mm-hmm.
learn a lot through mistakes, through maybe trusting people,
Mm-hmm.
people not coming through. And you just sound like a person who worked for everything, you weren't handed anything, but you worked for everything that you got. And now it's like all amounted to you just being this super dope, amazing person. And it's really
Oh,
nice.
thank
It's
you.
really nice to hear for real because there's so many people who just get a little bit of something, you know what I mean? And they
Mm-hmm.
just act a fucking ass. You know what I mean? They just don't know how to act. They want to let everybody know what they got going on, and you just so humble. When really it's like you have done something in our city that is like going to be remembered in history forever. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't like that before you got here,
Mm-hmm.
and you still somehow managed to just cool. Like I've never had an issue with you ever. You never went bad on me. I never see you do anything that was questionable. I never see you do anything was like, I don't know about that. You know what I mean? Like you've always been a solid person. And even before I actually met you, when I asked you earlier about like what was Dallas like before you got on the scene and like the so if I was to answer that question, Dallas was into maybe into a lot of ways it's still like this, but Dallas was the kind of place where you could be somewhere in an event with somebody and they acknowledge your presence, like they look at you, you know what I mean? But people wouldn't just speak. It was very like machismo type shit, like, oh, like, I
Mhm.
see bro, but do he see me
Wait till you
type
see
shit.
me. Wait till you see me.
You know what I mean? And people not speaking
I
and
got a story for that too.
look, I wanna hear it. I
Look.
wanna hear it. And it was just really like that. Like even people that like you might have met once before or connected with it, or maybe supported them, bought some of their music, and it's like you see them and it's like maybe you excited to meet them because it's like, yo, I fuck with you. Like you
Mhm.
like kind of like you got this hometown legend thing going on, and
Mhm.
you meet them and it doesn't follow through. And
Yeah.
I remember when I first heard of you somehow, some way. By the time I figured out who you had some type of establishment in Dallas to the point where like she's this girl who is like involved with music and where all the cool kids are at, she's involved in some type of way. And I remember um I think I reached out to you on like Twitter or something. And I reached out to you and I didn't know what to expect because I had already had a feeling of what Dallas people could be like, you know? And to my surprise, like I think you responded right. I think I sent you a song or something like that. You responded to the message. You was mad cool about it. You were just like, "Oh yeah, hey, cool. Thank you for sending me the song. I'll check this out." And that meant a lot to me because it was like I was not used to that warm embrace in Dallas.
Mhm.
And literally from that moment on to where you are now, like you haven't changed. Like you literally continue to grow to becoming this person who gives people a shot and really gives people an opportunity. And that leads me to my question of what does it take for you to embrace an artist? Like, what are some things that you need to see from talent level down to just being a good person? Like, what are some things that you need to see for you to be like, this person can roll on my team or they can perform on my stage? What does it take?
I think I feel like I'm repeat myself a lot, but I feel like support, like to
Hmm.
see how they support other people is how I justify how our
Yeah.
connection or our our exchange will be. Also like just how much energy they put in themselves. Just the way they carry themselves, the way that they're what they're talking about in their music. Just if they have like a story or something with their music, like it also helps. But just to see how they carry themselves, how they talk. You learn about a lot of people how they talk on their Twitter because they don't know you're watching. So it's like
Yeah.
that way too. Like even now, even on
On
my Twitter now,
Twitter.
I'll be like, Tab be like, you shouldn't have said this.
Really?
Tab be like, don't say this. He'll send me.
Yeah.
He'll send my tweets. Be like, why you say
In the
this?
screenshot, it'd be like, take the shit down.
I'm like,
But
I was
you
like,
and
I
you
said
respect
that.
his
I'm like, I
voice.
was like, I said that. Like, I was like, ugh. I was like, I can't say nothing on here.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. But it's like, it's down to like even how they talk and stuff. So it's like, just because I'm like more like, I'm very like goofy and like playful. Like,
Hmm.
if people that know me know, like,
Right,
she's
right, right.
always joking. Like, she's
Right.
she's always ready to do something. Like, I'm like, even like me and Peter went to go ride bikes. I'm like, that's who I am. Like,
That's who you
I want
are.
to go
Yeah.
ride bikes. Like, I don't want to go party. I want to go
Yeah.
ride bikes.
Yeah.
So it's like that's
Wow.
just who I am. Like, I'm all about, being social, mixy, networking
Hmm.
and stuff and in music. But I feel like I'm all about if it's meant to happen, it'll happen. So if I'm meant to meet you, I shouldn't have to not do what I want to do to go meet you. I should be able to, maybe
Mm.
I'll meet you on the street. Like
Yeah.
maybe I'm riding
Just
bikes down
don't
the
force
street
it.
and meeting you. Like I feel like, if I want to go out, I'm gonna go out. I'm not gonna meet somebody. So it's like if I go out, I'm gonna go out and I'll meet somebody. And if we're meant to meet each other, we'll meet each other. But you shouldn't have to feel like you're forcing anything to meet somebody. So I feel like I never want to be force myself to go do anything. So I don't. And the way I choose artists is like, just really just like spontaneously just scrolling through or like see something I like. If like this is one girl I just started following and randomly she was already following Vibes, but I was like on her page on my personal page, and I was like send it to my Vibes page because like I always send people to my Vibes page to follow because I want to like make sure they know that Vibe sees you, like I
Yeah.
I see it. So like I was like, damn, she dope. I like her energy.
Damn.
You could
Even
see.
that's a real quick. Even that's a thing though. Like I want you to know that Vibes sees you because that
Mm,
means something to be seen by
mhm.
Vibes.
Yeah, so I was like, it doesn't matter if I see you. I
Yeah,
even like tweeted that one. I was like, I don't care who follows me, but when people follow Vibes, it makes me feel, a way because like, oh, you see Vibes.
yeah,
You have to see me because you're gonna see me eventually. If you
for
like, you're
sure.
really working with Vibes or working with Vibes, you're gonna see me eventually. You don't have to see
Yeah,
me. As long as you see like Vibes, like go follow
yeah, because
Vibes.
it's
Like,
about the brand
yeah,
with
I was
you.
like, I could delete
It's
my
not
page
about clout
tomorrow.
with
Yeah,
you.
I could delete my page tomorrow if I wanted to. And I've
It
even
says a
told
lot
people
about
that
your
I was like,
character.
I want to delete my page one day and like be able to just use my Vibes page. 'Cause I feel like I know a few friends that do that. And I'm like, I would like to be that person. Like, live your life, get rich and like not have to be like, oh, that's
Yeah.
such and such.
It's like we
Like,
good over here. Just worry
yeah.
about the business. Worry about
Yeah,
the
like
brand.
that's where I want to be because I do like a low key life, but I also like to be in a spotlight sometimes. So I feel like I should be able to like turn it off and turn it off.
Hmm.
Turn it on, turn it off. So the way I really like see artists is like just seeing like sometimes if they show up or they support or like in the comments or like people are mentioning them a lot on my page, like or like really just showing up and supporting other people. Like it's a lot of artists that they'll show up and support other artists and like they'll introduce them to you and like oh damn, it's nice to meet you. Or like they'll find 23 or somebody and they're like, oh no, she's who to
Hmm.
talk to. And they're like they'll be so shocked that I'm a woman. Like sometimes it be women and like I'm like, yeah. It's like, what's up? Like I'm real like I'm like, it's like, yeah, it's me. It's not some businessman in a suit
Yeah, yeah,
walking around.
yeah,
It's me
yeah.
out here. I'm actually they feel like I'm actually a part of the party because I'm in the party crowd,
Yeah.
dancing and turning up
Whole
too.
time
So
I'm the
it's like
brainchild behind
right,
this
like
shit, nigga.
it's just like I feel like it's what I aim to always be. Like I don't want to be someone like you can't talk to because I feel like when I came to Dallas, it's like they're doing events, you can't talk to them.
Yeah,
Like even like I was
exactly.
like doing events with other people, like they would be ducked off or whatever, and I'd be
You're
like,
just too cool.
trying to find them, like this person is looking for you, like where
Yeah,
you
they
at,
want to
like
embrace you. They want to meet
yeah,
you.
it's like, where you at? Like, this person wants to meet you. So I'm like, I feel like I want to be able to be approachable, be
Yeah,
reachable, and be able to be like, oh, yeah, like I know this person. Like, this is something that she really, she really built. And like I feel
yeah.
like a lot of my friends that I have now, they've either been with me since I started, caught on like in the mid of it, they know it was me, and they
Hmm.
caught on and like they just offer to help.
Hmm.
And like even like friends that like, oh, he's like they was like, "Oh yeah, my boyfriend knows you." Like my boyfriend knows you. You do Vibes Texas, and I was like, "Yeah." And I have a friend that he's not even a part of the scene at all. He was just at a party, and he was like telling somebody about Vibes Texas. He's like, "Yeah, I was telling somebody about Vibes Texas that you do all the dope parties." And I was
Yeah.
like, "You said that?" He's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "You funny." He's like, "I was telling that guy," and he's like, "Oh, I know her." And I was like, "Who is it?" And it was like, and he sent me the page. I was like, "Damn, he does follow me." And
Yeah.
I didn't even know like who it was.
Lit out here,
And I was
man.
like, "That's crazy," but it does feel good that like the word of mouth works too.
Oh yeah, for
And like
sure.
people like they're saying like someone if someone knows who Vibes Texas is. And it's like it's not that someone if someone knows who Rummy is, it's like someone if someone knows Vibes
Vibes
Texas. And
Texas.
that's
Yeah.
all that really matters to me because that's why I never named Vibes Texas after me because it's like it's not about me. It's
Yeah.
like I don't want you to feel like you have to fuck with me to fuck with
Yeah.
Vibes,
Wow.
but you can fuck with Vibes and
That was
you don't have
big.
to know me personally. Like,
That was
it's still
big.
there. Like
Yeah.
it's Vibes gonna be there. I mean, even if I was to like pass my torch off to somebody else, like it's still gonna be there.
Do you think about that some days?
Yeah. But I'm like not pass off to like sell it,
No, I get what you
just
mean.
like pass it
Yeah.
off. And
To
I
keep
and
the
I feel
legacy
like
going.
yeah, I feel like in a way I'm like teaching my sister because she just moved to
Mm.
Dallas. And in
Mm.
a way I'm teaching her things like even like so now like I let her work the door because she's like, can I be in charge of the door? And I was like, I mean, you're working it, so I guess.
That's a humble position to
So I
start
was
at
like,
too.
yeah, I was like, so I guess if you want to be in charge of the door,
That's
because
work.
that's really how I started. So I'm like, yeah, if you want to, I was like, you can, like, I'm not gonna be there. So yeah, if you
Yeah.
got something to say it. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay. So I'm like, I'm seeing what she likes to do too. I'm like, cause I asked her like, you need some hobbies. I was like, what do you like to do? Like, what, like,
You need some shit to
cause she
do.
just be making money and going home and like, we'll just be chilling. I'm like, I was like, what else do you like to do? Like, what is it? Like, what's something else? So like, now I be trying to like do activities with her and like
Hmm.
see what she likes. But she really likes like money and like working with money and like she
Yeah.
likes to like be in charge
That's
the
good.
same as I do. So
That's good.
it's like having her a part of it. I feel like I can, if I was to move to New York, like just for instance, if I was to move to New York, I would feel okay with
Hmm.
her being in charge because it's
Hmm.
like I was young when I started. I think I was like 22. Wait, was I 22? No, I was like 24.
When you
I
moved to Dallas.
think I was like that was 2014. I'm 30. Oof.
Speaking
It
of
was like
moving,
22, 22, like that.
um, what do you think? I gotta come up just a couple more questions,
Mm.
but what do you think? We almost he looks
He was
stoned as
smoking.
hell.
Like
No, you good. What do you think it's going to take, right, for Dallas to get to the next level as far as like media presence? Like when you think of places like New York, of course, Los Angeles, of course, Atlanta, of course, like what do you think is going to take to bump Dallas up to that next thing? What do you think? What do you think that is? Because I think that's something that we all want to know, and I think
Yeah.
we all waiting for it. And I think there's a lot of people, especially like myself, I think that it's closer than it's ever been. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But sometimes close could mean like the next 5 years, next 10 years, that's relatively close in the grand scheme of things. But what do you think of some things that haven't happened yet, but when it does, and if it does, it'll help propel us to get there faster?
I think it's more resources, really. More resources, more
Hmm.
money, more people that want to, sponsor or like collaborate or invest into like, these up and coming people, even like people that are really inspired to like be in the music industry, not just like doing music or,
Hmm.
maybe a journalist or
That's
a
a
writer or
big
like
one.
someone
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah, yeah.
really has the
People behind the camera.
yeah, the drive to do something, but they don't know what to do or know
Yeah.
where to go or like even when I was talking I guess we could say this because I guess I was talking to a guy from Audio Mac. I was like
Hmm.
telling him, I was like, because he asked, like, he asked the same kind of the same question. He's like, what does Dallas not have that everyone else has? Like, he's like, because I think they said that they act like, and they as in like Texans, like
Hmm.
Texas is a whole different country. And I was like, I mean, technically it feels like it sometimes because it's like
Hmm.
everyone's out there trying to like not be independent, but everyone's independent, but don't know how to be not independent.
Yeah, for
And no
sure.
one knows how to like, make put all their money or their brains and like information resources and all that together to like do this. Like you never know who knows what or who knows who. So it's like resources and just more collaborations, more of people being okay with like sharing like a spotlight or not, not more so just caring about, how this makes their stuff pop, but how it can make everyone pop. So I
Yeah,
feel like just
yeah.
resources are like a real big win and just like more people actually involved. Everyone wants to throw an event
Hmm.
and not understand what an event is and what's
Hmm.
the purpose of an event. I feel like some people want to throw an event or have an event because they feel like everyone's popping if you have an event or you're throwing an event or you're making a lot of money.
Hmm.
And then when they throw an event, it's like, damn, like
They realize.
this is not this is not
Yeah, it's
it.
not a rich quick
It's
scheme.
not a get rich quick scheme because if you're doing that, then you're not really doing it the right way and it's gonna get around. So it's
Mm.
like in order for it to make sense, you have to be able to like, fund different things and like even like, work with other people or like see what other people have to offer. Like, if someone wants to be involved, like ask them like, what do you like to do then? Like, what do you want to do? Like, you don't have to be a rapper. You can write
Yeah,
someone's music. Like, if
yeah,
you don't
for
want to be a
sure.
rapper, you can write someone's
There's
music if you're
other
good at
roles that
writing.
we need, man.
Yeah, so it's like everyone wants to do what everyone else is doing because it looks
They
cool
want to be the
instead of doing what
star.
they
Want to
want
be
to
the
do.
face. Yeah,
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, I don't want to be,
yeah.
I don't want to be a face or something because I'm still trying to figure out what I actually want to do more than what I'm already doing already. Like, it's so many things I'm doing. So I'm like, what do I really want to do?
Mm.
Like, what else do I want to do that I'm not already doing, or like, what can I do that I'm doing but better?
So I got two more questions for you. One, do you think that Dallas currently has a sound? Do you think there's
Hmm.
like something consistent you can name amongst the artists that you can kind of trace? Like I see it here, I hear it there, I hear it there. Do you think it has a sound, or is it just like a bunch of dope shit just kind of like clicking off?
I don't hear a sound.
Okay.
I mean, I hear a sound like when it comes down to like, like South Dallas, something like that, or
Hmm.
Oak Cliff type of
Hmm.
artists. They have a sound like they pretty much stick to a lot more. But I feel like a lot of the artists that I know and I like personally know and work with, they don't really have a sound that everyone else has. Like no one's sharing a sound. We might, dabble with something or like add a little, this in
Hmm.
it. But I feel like it's not like a sound that I can like, oh, I'm hearing this artist has this
Hmm.
artist has this. Like they all have different sounds in their own way. Like they're all different in their own way. To where like you never know that someone is from Dallas. And they might even be from Dallas.
Right. It might
So it's
not be.
like it's a lot of artists that's moving there that's not from Dallas. So it's like Dallas is becoming something that's like, a lot bigger than what it was. I feel like because a lot of people are
Absolutely.
now feeling more comfortable being different. And now I
Yeah.
don't have to rap like,
Yeah.
Joe and Jane down the street. Like I can rap
Yeah.
like this. I can
Yeah, for
sing on my
sure.
tracks. Like,
Or I don't
I
have to
can
feel like I have to rap like where I'm at.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I'm from the South,
Mhm.
so let me throw on my
Mhm.
UGK or whatever like that. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like nah, niggas is really taking influences from the internet
Yeah.
and synthesizing that to make something completely new.
Yeah. And that's really it's really what I like about what's happening too. And I've even like told people like I really want to work in with different type of artists. Like I feel like Vibes is, have done well for the hip hop community and the scene and
Yes, it
the
has.
environment. So I feel like I want to also work with other artists that, are doing different sounds and, maybe like country or pop or, just see what they have too. Cause they also can add resources to what we don't have. Like
Mm.
a lot of folks that are like in the pop crowd or even EDM or anything different than hip hop. I feel
Yeah.
like they have resources as well, and they also can help, bring Dallas
Mm.
together too. Because it's not
That's
just
a
hip
good
hop
point.
in Dallas; it's
That's a good
also
point.
a lot of other
Yeah.
types of music. And I feel like we are doing a good job collaborating. Like Graham, like he does a really good job collaborating with other type of artists. Like he doesn't just stick in one bubble. He likes to like do different
Yeah.
things. Like I'm gonna add this on it, like singing, like hitting his last album. It gave me like a rock vibe.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
was like,
yeah,
this is like
yeah.
really rocky. Like I like
Yeah,
this.
he's a very versatile artist. Like I don't know how young he is, but I just want to naturally say that kid is different for sure.
Hmm.
Like he's different.
Yeah, and Grandma's okay with being different. That's why
Yeah,
like we click because I'm like, yeah, I like that.
yeah, he's different. And I say that in the best way possible.
Hmm.
Like he's different. Like he got a good thing going. He got good energy. That literally leads perfect into my last question, Loki. Who are some artists in Dallas that like have your stamp of approval? People that you're like, I love what they got going on. I see it happening for them. I want to see them win. Obviously, we don't have to name every single person in the city, you know what I mean? So if you don't get mentioned in this, please don't start a war, you know what I mean?
Let
But just a couple people that you just like, I actually like the music. If it turns on,
me see.
I enjoy myself to it. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to
pull out the Apple
see.
Music for sure. Pull out the Apple Music.
Because I think I follow. Let's see. Of course, I'm gonna say Coach Tev because
Of course.
that's the friend Graham. My friend Honey Days. Well,
Mm,
she go hard. She's been doing great things.
mm.
And who do I just listen to? D Gotti.
Okay.
D Gotti's been doing good too. I like how she's getting out of her shell a lot more now. Because she wasn't performing much and like just being herself on her
Mm-hmm.
platform a lot. And I was like, damn, I was like, you really got something going. Like people really fuck with your music.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I was like telling her, you should get out, you should, perform more and stuff. And then I finally talked her into performing at my girls' event like a couple years
And she
ago.
killed it.
She did great.
That's
People
what's
loved her
up.
in the crowd. It was a really good time. I was like, this is dope. I think that you got it. I'm trying to find I can't think of the girl's name right now because I can't find her, but I was like, I like this. I can't remember her name right now.
Okay. Yeah, we'll plug it
But
later.
but
Like, what about Devi or
oh yeah, Debbie for sure.
mm-hmm.
Debbie, John Doe, he's
Mm-hmm.
always been solid. Bando. Bando's
Mm-hmm.
from Dallas area, but
LA
he's in
now.
LA right
Yeah.
now. LaVoice.
The
LaVoice
Voice.
is in LA too, but
Mm-hmm.
she's always been a good time to work with. She's always
Mm-hmm.
real serious about her shit. And I
Yeah.
like that. Like I like that you
Yeah.
even like if she like tries to check me on something, like I like that she just like she just like and does it like real nice, like. So I'm like, I like that. So I like, and we're still like, no action, no beef, no nothing. It's like, oh, I want this way, whatever. And it's like, that's it. It's
Yeah.
nothing personal. So I like that people that can like tell you, oh no, like this, or like do this, or like I can't do this, and like they just don't make you feel like, oh, you did something wrong or something. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
like
Like we can just be adults about it, not take it
yeah, I like
personal.
that. So it's like I really rock with her. Nezzy
Okay.
in Dallas. Um oof,
We got Kush with the AC.
Kush for sure. Kush would probably be like, why you didn't mention me? Because he said he the OG of Vibes, Texas. And I was like,
I remember his first event in that bitch, for
yeah, and
real.
then I think he did open mic one time too. I feel like
I remember his
he
first
did that.
event.
I was like, yeah, you are. I was like, he's like, I can't get the OG of a stamp now. I was like, you got it.
Yeah, you
You
got
got
it.
it.
It's
But yeah, it's a lot of
a
artists that
lot
I've
of
worked with.
artists, man,
A
for
lot of artists that
real.
I've worked with. 23 Cups, he's an artist as
Come
well.
on now,
He's
great.
he's a host and an artist and an entertainer. He does, I don't know, not one thing that he doesn't do right
Yeah,
now.
he do it
So
all. Because he hungry.
yeah.
He's one of the people who like he wants it and you see it. You know what I mean? You don't
Yeah.
gotta like come across him and be like, I wonder what he's doing. Like he's everything.
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
fighting.
Brand Move.
Mm.
He's been doing a lot of good shit in Dallas. He did something downtown and I think it had like a big screen or something. I was like, damn, I missed it. I didn't even see that.
Mm.
Algorithm always fucks shit up anyway.
Yeah, it does.
Brand Move is dope. John Aqua, he's really good too. John Aqua
Mhm.
is dope.
What's
Um
that guy? His name is Yellow Jones or some shit
Yellow
like that. Yeah,
Jones.
Yellow Jones is
Yellow Jones
cool.
fire too. He's I love how he's always himself too. Like he's always
Yeah.
doing whatever he wants to do. Damn.
There's Jay Vasquez. He's
Jay
doing his
Vasquez,
thing.
yes. He always doing those freestyles too on his page. I love that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, he's doing
Um
his thing. It's really so many people.
Asia Kyrie has been
Mm.
she's one of those people that like she knows her lane and she likes to, do it how she wants to do it. And she's always like respectful about it. And like she's unapologetically herself.
Mm.
I'm like, that's what I like about artists when they're like, just be yourself and do your thing. Ebo, I don't know what Ebo be doing.
Man,
I was like, Ebo, where
Ebo,
you be
what the
going?
fuck?
Ebo
Ebo.
hard. I'm like, where you be going? Ebo go
She
hard.
just playing with that shit at this
Right.
point, for real, because she been had it, for
Ebo
real.
go hard. I'm like, damn girl, where you been?
What do you think is okay, I lied. This is my last question right here.
Mm,
Two more actually. They're gonna make it. We can make it quick. We'll make it quick. So when you think about people like what was bro name who had that song that was popping? You
what
think about
song?
people like Yellow Beezy.
Okay.
You think about people like Big X the Plug, people
Mm.
like that. Like, what do you think it is about them that allowed them to? Because these are not artists that come from the metroplex that necessarily went through the local scene per se. Maybe they did at some point.
Yeah.
Take K even to a degree, right? It's like
Mm.
even though he was a part of the local
Yeah, he
scene,
was there.
yeah, he was. But like, what do you think it is that like allowed them to like cash page, right? Like to shoot to the top, so to speak. Like, do you think that it sometimes it could just be as simple as like just having the right song? Like, it can. Is that all it needs to be sometimes?
Sometimes it's the right song or like run to the right person or like even like Yellow Beezy and like Big X, it's like they have a certain like pocket, like they're
Mm-hmm.
both in the same type of pocket. I feel like when it comes down to Dallas, the type of music they have and they do,
Mm-hmm.
like it's a certain type of like
That
look
pocket,
and
yeah.
like yeah, pocket and like just what they're doing in their music and like their videos and stuff. Like some people like that and like it pushes the most with different crowds because like people love controversy, so it's like depending on what type of vibe or energy they're giving is what's
Mm-hmm.
going to attract it. And sometimes in Dallas we like ratchet shit. We
Yeah,
like to
street
we
shit.
like the
Yeah.
street shit. We like to be able to you know twerk our ass a little bit to
Mm-hmm.
some shit and like throw up whatever our set is and like that's
Mm-hmm.
what it is. And I feel like that's what that is when it comes down to like um cash. Even Angel White was in the CMT
Mm-hmm.
awards. He was performing and he's from
Amazing.
Dallas and I was
Yeah, I
like,
remember
that's
him.
dope. I was like, that's really
That's so
dope.
crazy. I was thinking about him the other day when at one of your events. Yeah, that's crazy.
I was like, telling him, I was like, that's dope that the CMT awards and he's doing something else. He was doing something else. And I was like, that's really dope that you're doing that. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
it's like make me feel like, maybe, I should be looking in
Mm-hmm.
different
Mm-hmm.
parts of the city for different things too. Like maybe I
Mm-hmm.
should be not just I guess shutting myself off from a whole different world
Yeah.
when I could be, I'm mixed. So
Yeah.
like
Time to expand.
I also have different worlds that I came from. Like, I grew up with different
Mhm.
worlds and I'm like, I could be, doing this and still like,
Mhm.
still be myself because that is me too. Like
Just like Graham, perfect
yeah.
example.
Yeah, I can still be myself, but still add my kinks to it. And that's what I've always done. I'm like, maybe I should just do more of that. And like, that will set me aside from what other people are doing because I'm not just doing this. Like, we might do this one day, we might have this going on one day. Like, and I feel like it just depends on maybe resources, who somebody who heard the song. I feel like with some people, like if somebody like a celebrity maybe find it or something, they start posting about it. I feel like that helps as well too.
That helps,
And that's
yeah.
happened a few times with people in Dallas. So I feel like just depends on like, different things. Like I feel like anything can happen.
Yeah.
Anyone can meet someone and be like, damn, like,
Yeah.
I didn't know you could rap like that.
Yeah.
And like they would like want to sign you or they want to like bring you into the studio or something. Like it happened like at any moment. I feel like it just depends.
Yeah.
Like even with me, like I be in different places. I'm like, damn, like I didn't think I would, be
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Like I didn't know
Facts.
I didn't know I was gonna be with Audio Mac. Like that was like big for me
Yeah.
because I was like, damn, I'm like Audio Mac. And like it came off like one of my friends mentioning me on Twitter. Like
Mm.
she mentioned me on Twitter under a thread of someone that the person knew and they was just looking through like tech. They was like not looking like through text, but like was interested in like what is like what's there to offer, like who are the tastemakers. And I was mentioning Vibes was mentioned. I was like, damn. And he was like, yeah, I found off a tweet on Twitter. And I was like, I knew that was a tweet because I was like, how do you? Because even me and Grandma was talking like, how do you even find you? I was like, I don't even know how he found me. I was like, that was so random too because like he hit
Man,
me up
Twitter.
and like he was like, thanks for the follow, yada yada yada, and mentioned Vibes Sexes. I was like, damn, he must have went in and like looked at my page and like
And seen
reviewed
and ran to
everything.
a fucking gold
Yeah, I
rush.
was like, okay. I was like, cool. And I was like, we have like talked about different things and like we have working on like, working together on something, that probably could be big for me and also
Yeah,
could be big for them too, because it depends on what comes from it. Like we never know what'll happen. Like just
absolutely.
different things that I want to do with just my own little visions that I've been having since I took a break on, being outside and doing things. So I'm like, I want
Yeah.
to do this and like, just finding myself and finding ways like to make me happy. Like just sitting at home, really just I be like watching DIY videos, and that's really
Mhm.
what I like because I like seeing things start from start to finish. That's why I like doing locks
Yeah.
because I like they be like, you like doing that, and like and I be like doing like different hairstyles or something that's like it take you a long time to do that. I was like maybe like 4 hours. And they were like, "That's crazy." I was like, "Yeah, I just
Salute.
like seeing things finished."
Yeah.
And that's be my reason of doing things. I just like to see things finished because, like,
Finish,
in my
yeah.
head, and even like my sister, I was like, "You should make the bed when you wake up."
Oh, listen.
And she was like, "What?" And
Listen.
I'll come back home and like the bed is like not made the way I would make it.
Make sure you tell that to somebody we know.
Like,
For real.
okay, I'll tell her.
For real.
Cause I was like, you should, cause like she was also going through like her own things, like where she's just feeling like she don't know what her purpose is. Like, I don't
Mhm.
know where I'm going.
People
Like,
go
we
through
have
that. That's
conversations all the
part of
time.
it.
Like, I don't know what I want to do. Like, I don't know. I just like I'm just working and I'm just going in circles. It's a cycle. And I was like, you should make the bed when you wake up.
Mhm.
I was like, because I feel like when I start making a bed,
It's true.
it makes me feel like I'm cleaning my up my for my day. I'm getting ready for the
Mhm.
day. When I come home,
Mhm.
I don't have to make the bed. The
Mhm.
bed is nice. I feel like it
That's
looks
why
good
you
when I
do
come
it
in.
for when you come home.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing you see when you come into your crib.
Yeah, you feel
It's a
better.
good affirmation versus like I got some shit to do.
Yeah. So I was like, try making the bed. So now she makes the bed in the morning. And I'm like, so I was like, look, and I've been critiquing the bed. So I'm like,
Not you
I was
critiquing the
like, take the
bed.
pillows all off. Like, let's try it again. So we'll make the bed like when we're just at the house. I'm like, like, see, like, you come home, the bed made. And now when I come home, the bed be made. She making her bed. I'm like, okay, cool. So like it's just little things that I like to do to help me stay on track. Cause I feel like even like down to my house, like I can't even do anything if my house is dirty. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like my mind is, like, going everywhere. I'd explain it to people. I was like, I feel like my mind is like a highway. It's like I'm just doing this and doing this and doing it. Like, I gotta do this. I gotta do this. I gotta do this.
Mhm.
So I feel like whenever I have my house clean, I'm like, okay, like that's one thing that I don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
Now I could put things around and not worry about, the house being dirty or like just different
Yeah.
things. And like it just makes me feel like I'm accomplishing something and
You
like
are.
I'm just
For sure.
slowly knocking out my to-do list. I'm really working on not being a procrastinator. So like I'm very
Mhm.
big on procrastinating and I feel like that's held me back a lot. Even with vibes, like cause I'm be like, I want to do an event. Like I've done like so many times where I'll like plan an event and be like, okay, scratch it.
Yeah.
And I'll do it like I might do it like in a few months or something. And I
Mhm.
feel like that's because I be a procrastinator. I feel like I get overwhelmed still doing events sometimes. I'm like, damn, like what if nobody likes it? And
Mm.
I feel like I still have that.
You still have those
And that's what
thoughts?
I'm working through. Yeah, I'm like, what if nobody
Mm.
likes it? What if nobody comes? Because like it's not somebody popping on the lineup or
Yeah,
something. And
yeah, yeah.
that's what I'm trying to like get out of and also build myself because I feel like I have no problem with saying like, I stopped. So I have to build myself back up in a little way. Like everyone like, oh, you got a platform, you got this, you can do this, you can do this. I'm like, yeah, I get that. But I also feel like I still have to build myself back up to
Yeah.
where I feel like I need to be in
Yeah.
this. And I feel like that, I don't take it personal. Folks tell me what I should be doing. I was like, okay, thank you. Like I take everybody's advice. Like, I might use it one day. So it's like I feel like I'm having to rebuild a lot of things in my life, a lot of things about my business. And I feel like I've learned so much by just doing certain things or like working with certain people that, that didn't work out for me. So like, no harm, no bad blood, like just not working out for me. And I'm just gonna do something that makes sense for me or makes sense for what I have going to see if this helps me go somewhere farther. And that's even like with having my sister be a part of it. Like I feel like that makes me feel um reassured
Of
that I'm in
course.
good hands.
Yeah.
Cause she gonna show up on time.
Yeah.
She gonna make sure the money good. Cause she would never want her big sister to be mad about the money.
Yeah.
And she gonna make sure the security is in check and then up there. She makes sure everyone in the front's taken care of.
Yeah.
She makes sure if she leaves the table, she makes sure somebody's there to watch the table.
Yeah.
Like it's like things I was like, I know I'm in good hands. I know because I know how she works. I know how she moves.
Yeah.
She wanna make sure that her big sister is happy.
That's
And
respect.
because you see me like upset about a lot of different things. I'm like, I got a lot of trust in you. And she'll like tell me at the end of the day, she'll tell me things that happen. I'm like, girl, she'll like tell me different things that happen at the front and stuff. I'm like, yeah. I was like, that's gonna happen again.
It's gonna happen
I was like,
again.
it's gonna
Yeah.
happen again. And she's
Listen.
like going through her kinks of how she wants to, run it. Like even like the last time I had her do the door, like I let her set the door up. So she set up however she wanted to set it up. And it kind of was so like how I would set it up.
Yeah.
Like one thing was like off, so I just fixed it, but like everything else was like there. And I was like, yeah. I think that, just being reassured when you have like a business and having someone that, I got you. Like, I know how this is. I know, we've talked about this at the house. So I know how you feel about this. I've seen you upset about this. So I know I got you, I got you if you need anything. And I feel like that's like real important to me because it's like, it's hard to like have people around that understand like it's serious. Like this is real serious to you.
For sure. Yeah.
Like this is nothing else. Like nothing. If this doesn't work out, you have nothing else.
Yeah. Yeah. This is your life's work.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm not like. Of course, I want to like have fun and like play, but I feel like it's also like I'm not here to play. Like and I feel like I felt with a lot of friends because like I feel like I've told people like before like I don't feel like this is like helping our friendship because I'm very serious about vibes. And I'm very like, on point about my shit. So if I have anyone around that wants to be a part of my shit, it's like
you expect the same.
it's not all fun and games. Like we do travel sometimes. We do have a good time at the event. We drink, we might bullshit, we might party after. But when it comes down to like working, this is still a job, for me, you, whoever. Like this still can get us out the hood.
Yeah.
So it's like if you don't treat it like that, then how can I, appreciate or make sure you're taken care of if you're not taking care of me too? Like I feel like people expect you to like be able to like just, I guess, pay their bills with it. It's like I gotta be able to pay the rent for the venue first.
Yeah.
Like I gotta pay, that's still rent. Like I'm still renting this building out. If I can't make money to get it paid, then what's the point of us to be doing an event? So I feel like a lot of things go into, into fact. And that's why when I work with my other friends, I'm like, yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
I was like, so how much are you in the hole?
Yeah.
I was like, so
I
how much work do we have to do? And like, that's like really like what it is. Like, so how much do you need help with? Like, what do you need help with? And like, even my friends will ask me questions on like, events or whatever. Like I have my friends like reach out, like, I really want to do this event. I need some help. Like, what should I do? What kind of venue should I go to? Whatever. And I'd be like, I be asking myself, what's your budget? And I be telling them, like, honestly, for what you're trying to do, that's not gonna work. So I was like, I be trying to tell like people, like, it's easy to do an event, but it's hard to like, fund it sometimes. So it's like the hard part is like finding the money to make sure everyone that needs to get paid is getting paid. And if they can't get paid because you can't pay them, having a conversation with them, like, look, like, this event is not the event like last month. This is a different event. Like, we're not gonna make no money. Cause I feel like I've had conversation with people, a lot of creatives that either want to be a part or like a friends, I want to be a part or whatever. And they'll be like, you didn't pay me. And I'm like, I didn't even pay myself. I didn't pay myself. I didn't pay 23. And I'm like, and if anyone doesn't know, they know 23 is getting taken care of first. So I'm like, if I'm not paying 23, and I'm not paying myself, and no one on the event got paid. It's like we had these conversations. There's no money being made. It's a free event. We're just doing it because we all want to get together, and we're all like, just basically doing our shit. And no one's getting paid because it's a free event. The venue's free. Everything's free. There's no way for us to get paid. So I feel
Yeah.
like it just comes into a lot of things to consider working with people and like communication. And like I feel like it's just been hard to like really help people understand things like that.
Yeah.
And that's really why I've been like, I just need to regroup. I need to
Yeah.
regroup, like something personal, nobody. Like I just feel like I just need to regroup and figure out like, who really is really in this for the long run. Like who's okay with not making no money and who's okay with making $100,000 one time.
'Cause that's
Like it's like
everything.
that's because if you can't be with me not making no money, then why would I be able to trust you when we are making money?
You
Because when the
can't.
money really comes in, it comes in.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it just comes in the fact like really working with people that understand like it's a business. It's not like a corporation that's already, booming and established. Like we never know
It's
what's
still
gonna
a startup
happen.
to a degree.
Yeah,
It
we
definitely
never
is.
know what's gonna happen. And I feel like money has been like a big factor with like a lot of situations and just like not like feeling like I'm doing enough for them. And like I feel like that's just really why I decided to just regroup and take a step back. And I really feel like I took a step back too, also to just read the room. Like I feel like with me, I've like had to like just how you be so involved with something. You're so involved, everyone's like reaching out for you, everyone's checking for you, yada yada yada. But when you stop, it's like you kind of see like who's checking for you. And that's what I had to do. Like I was like, when I stopped doing stuff, I was like, no one's checking for me. So I was like, okay. So it's like when you stop doing things or you stop doing events or you stop just doing things that people think is cool or like, oh,
Yeah.
Romei's that girl because she does this and this and this or
Right,
whatever.
right.
Like, I see her doing it. She's always out. Everyone knows her. Everyone wants to be around her. I want to know who that is. But when you stop doing that and you're not outside, you're inside because you're going through your own shit and no
Where's
one's
that
checking
love
for you.
at?
It's like, okay, well, you didn't check for me, and then like, so I
Yeah.
mean, it's
It's
not
real
like it's my
transactional.
turn. It's just like, okay, you didn't check for me. This is not really what you want. It's not something you're just doing because everyone else thinks it's cool.
Right. You're just trying to ride the wave.
Yeah, so like it's just like the little things that you peep whenever you're not up. When you're like down in your own way, because you might not look down at everybody else, but to you, when you're like deep inside, you're like, I'm down.
Yeah.
Like I'm not ready to come outside.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's when I like realized like, yeah, I need to regroup.
We need to regroup. Yeah.
I need to regroup.
Well, let me ask you this. Man, this is definitely my favorite episode that I've done so far, for sure. I can't wait to listen back to this. We're gonna get out of here because it's hot as shit. But
You got these socks on.
yeah, you see it. You see it. Shout out to Weezy. She was just
Hopefully it's not
complaining.
raining outside too.
Listen, we take the goddamn Uber.
Right.
Can you? The last thing that I want you to share is, if you can, just quickly share some advice or some wisdom for any young woman, whether she be in Dallas, Idaho, Wisconsin, it don't matter, you know what I mean? But she want to try things, you know what I mean? She wants to try things. She's scared, she's overwhelmed. She doesn't know if she really can do it. People around her may not believe in her. What is something that you would like to impart to that girl, no matter where she is, no matter what she looks like? Something that could be motivating to let her know that, like, yo, you can do this shit in my life. You can look at my life, for example. Just any wisdom, any information, anything at all.
Okay, I think I got a few. If you don't bet on yourself, no one else will. So if you don't like take a chance on yourself to do it, then no one's gonna even know that you're gonna do it, or no one's gonna believe in you because you're not believing in yourself. And I mean, when I first went to Dallas, I was literally living out of my car. So I
Damn.
made sure that I moved to Dallas after like being there for like a few months. I was like, okay. I was like stayed with my cousin for a few months. And then like when that was up, I started like living on my own in my car, going back and forth from Tyler. And sometimes I would be in the parking lot of my job, sleeping in the car,
Just posting.
resting because I just drove 2 hours to get up here. So I came early just to rest.
Yeah.
And
Speaking of which, I definitely left a Vibes event at like 3:00 in the morning one time and went straight to my job because I had to be there at 6.
yeah,
Slept, woke up, put the shit on, went right in. Yeah, but please
So I'm
carry
like,
on.
it just take a chance on yourself. And of course, people are not going to, believe in you sometimes and like not going to think it's going to work because, everyone has a dream and a dollar or whatever. But just take the chance on yourself and see how it go. And you're not gonna lose anything by taking a chance. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna give you an experience the same way it did for me. Like I learned so much by just losing so many times. So like I feel
Hmm.
like I know how to lose. So when I win, I'm like, oh, this is a win.
It's necessary.
Yeah. It
Even
helps
me.
you. And I feel like that's why I'm humble. Cause
Yeah.
I feel like anything can happen for me. I feel like
Yeah.
anything can go wrong, anything can go right. Like anything can happen. I could be walking down the street and meet somebody that could just change my life. And I
Hmm.
never know. So I feel like that's why I'm like, okay, like I'm okay. Like, yeah, I know I got a good platform.
Hmm.
Yeah, I know like I'm going places. Yeah, I know that, a lot of folks are watching my page. A lot of folks, can pretend it's not there, but
Hmm.
it's there. It's
How could
I
you?
feel
How
like
could you pretend? That's
you can
crazy.
put like 10 people, you can put 10 people that are in doing something creatively or in music, 10 people together, like a lot of like in groups, like so many groups of 10 people, and I feel like one person out of those 10 people is gonna know who I am, if
Hmm.
not
For
five.
certain.
So I'm like, I feel like I don't have to like go around and say, yeah, I'm the shit. Like I got this, I got
Hmm.
that. I've been doing this, I've been doing that
The
because I
work
feel
speak
like
for itself.
I don't have to. Like I feel like we just hit 10K. So like we just hit 10K and I feel like
Just
it just hit 10
amazing.
2K now. And I feel like
Hmm.
ever since I got 10K, I was telling grandma, I was like, I feel like ever since I got 10K, I feel like everyone keeps following me every hour or so. Like I'll
Mm.
wake up to like followers I never even know. He's like, just go through and skim through and see, if you can try to keep up. And I was like,
Hmm.
I can't even go through and find out like the artists because I'm like, it's so many people trying to follow. Like I don't know who's an artist, who's just, So it's like it makes it hard too. But like I feel like you don't have to tell the world what you're doing if the world is already telling people what you're doing.
Hmm.
So I feel like I don't have to tell people I'm vibe sexist because I feel like eventually they're gonna learn it's vibe
Yeah.
sexist.
Yeah. They're
So
doing the
like
promo for you.
yeah, so I'm like, I don't have to, and I even like even one thing I feel like I think Sean Cotton said this. He was like good promo. He's like all promo is good promo.
Mm.
So anytime anyone even tries to throw shame or salt on vibes, I'm like, okay, well, thank you for telling someone else that probably didn't know about
Oh, for
vibes
sure. For sure.
about me. Because if they go to my page, it's like, damn, like you're throwing shade on this page.
Yeah. And
So
they gonna
like,
come too.
yeah, so I'm
They
like,
gonna come.
I don't even care about haters, and I still like Cat Williams had that line. If you got 16 haters, you can find out what do you say? Like if you had like he was like if you had like 16 haters, find out how to get 14 more or some shit like that. He's like you should
Mm.
always want haters because the haters gonna help your business,
Mm.
and they do. They help
They
your
do.
business like no matter what. Like even like them bad reviews on Twitter or something. Like you start saying something bad about somebody on Twitter, you're like who is this?
Hmm.
Like who is this person or who is
Hmm.
this company?
Because you're gonna click
Yeah, so I'm
and
like
find some shit you like and stay.
so like even like down to like advice, like don't matter what you're doing, if you do it right or wrong, it's still gonna be talked about. So you might as well do something that you want to do.
Just
And
do it.
eventually whoever was talking shit gonna come back like, damn,
Hmm.
she worked hard for this.
Hmm.
And like last year she was doing shit events and now she doing
Hmm.
shit that has I don't know, like scissor or somebody
Hmm.
performing on it. So it's like
Hmm.
you never know, cause like even with me, like even with vibes, I did never knew like vibes was gonna be like I had like my own goals for it, but I never knew vibes was gonna be something that people was like, oh yeah, vibe sex is like this, we won't use like vibe sex did this for me, did that for me. I'm like I never knew that vibes is gonna be like something that people talk about, like
Hmm.
damn, like yeah, I remember being at vibes and I met this person at vibes, like I met this person at vibes. I'm like damn, really, I didn't meet that person at vibes.
Yeah.
So it's like it's crazy, like people be really meeting people
Yeah.
on something that you built. So it's like it don't matter what people say or do or think or whatever, because it's like they're not doing it. So if
Yeah.
you're doing it and they're not doing it, what does it even matter what they say?
Yeah.
And that's why I always feel like I don't care about, the bad that has been said about vibes or whatever, or like how I'm running my business. Cause it's like I'm running it. So like
Yeah.
I've been running it and I've been doing it. Rather it be good or bad, or like did this thing work out and this could have done this different. I'm gonna figure that out on my own. Like I have to figure it out on my own for me to make sure it works the way I need it to work. Like I can't learn by just like, oh, you should do this. Like I can learn that way, but it's like I still need to
Yeah.
learn
You get that real
what happens
experience
when I
though.
do it this way too.
For
Like
sure.
what happens when I bump my head? Like, can I get up?
Yeah.
So it's like I feel like you just never know what you can do until you start doing it. Cause I never knew like I was gonna be, getting the type of love I am now, or like people like, talking about me. Like even when I was in like I went to that event last night with someone calling my name. I was like,
Which is crazy.
And I was like, who's calling my name?
Thousands of miles away
and
from
I
the
was
crib.
like, what? And then like it was when my friends from LA was here. And I was like, damn. I was like, that's crazy.
Fire. What?
And I was like, they was really calling my name, hollering me. I was like, and I thought I was tripping. I was like, they can't be calling me.
Right.
So I kept walking, and then she texted me. I was like, I was calling you. I was like, damn. She was like, I'm sitting on the side by this yada yada yada. I was like, damn. So I went outside and was talking to her. And then even like Paco was outside vending, and he's from Dallas. And I was like, damn. And he came up behind me, like hugged me and stuff. I was like, that's dope that, you know, you can go somewhere to a whole different state, and it's like people like, you know, they still like, oh damn, like, you know, what you doing here?
Oh, for sure. The name rings bells.
Yeah, I was like, what you doing here? It's like, that's cool. Like, and then I just keep meeting people, and it just makes sense because I feel like I genuinely meet people because I'm like, I genuinely like talk to them without like, oh, I'm vibes. Like sometimes I don't even tell them about vibes.
Yeah.
Like I met like a lot of people last night, and I didn't even tell them about vibes because I feel like you should get to know me first if you don't know vibes, because then I make you want to get to know vibes.
Yeah, and now it helps me know that it's genuine. Like you're not trying to maintain a relationship with me based off of what you think I can do for you immediately versus just like, after you fuck with me, you just fuck with me.
Yeah, and that's really how I be moving. Like I feel like, you know, it'll come up in discussion eventually when they're like, what do you do? Because some people ask that.
It'll come up.
But I like when folks don't ask that. Because like it's like everyone thinks that you have to be doing something.
Yeah.
And that's why like when I be going out, I'm like, no, I'm, you know, I just from Dallas. I do hair.
I do hair. I do hair. Crazy.
So like, and then eventually they'll catch on, like, and I'll talk about it. Like if we really have a connection, I'll talk about it. But if it's like a creative conversation, then yeah, of course I'll mention it. If it comes up, like, you know, what do you do, or like, you know, what do you do in Dallas or whatever, I'll mention vibes and like about people that perform and like the artists, the vendors, and all that. So I'm like, it comes up, but I like to like just be like, I'm just here relaxing. Like even like last night we was in the booth and I was talking to these two girls that I met, and I didn't even mention vibes. I was just asking about New York. I was like, how do you like living in New York? And I was asking them like the areas and like what they like about it. One was from Jersey, one was from like, I think Detroit or something. And they were like telling me like different areas and like just give me advice or whatever. And like, we ended up following each other because I was like, oh, I'm gonna ask you some questions later on or whatever. And it's like, oh yeah, sure, yeah, give me up, whatever. So I was like, it just makes me like, makes it easier for me to like form a connection with somebody when they just know me. And then I tell them, oh yeah, I got an event coming, you should come out. And that's when they see like, oh damn, you do this.
Yeah.
Like, how you do this. So yeah, I just feel like genuinely just meet people and just sometimes just take your own advice.
That's a big one. Sometimes it's not even about what's outside of yourself. Sometimes everything is on the inside already.
Like you already know, like sometimes people just want reassurance that they're doing the right thing. And sometimes people around you don't know it's the right thing. Yeah, so they won't have the right advice. So I feel like listen to your, you know, your mind, your heart, your own advice. Like I feel like, and that's really what I had to do too, because I was like, I could do that. I was like, I was going to events. I was like, it's something about these events. It's just like they're boring. Like I mean, I respect and enjoy the music and the performances, but I feel like we're walking around and twiddling our thumbs and we don't know what to do.
Not talking to each other.
We don't know what to do. No one's dancing. No one's doing nothing. So I'm like, what can I do to add my own little twist to an event that I want to do, and also add to like entertain people people that don't want to listen to music. Like some of us come to events, they don't want to hear the artists. They don't want to listen to performers. They want to dance. They want to have a good time. So I was like, what can I do to like add to this and also bring people that want to do that? So that's why I added body painting. I added like vendors. I added like games. I added like food, barbecue. We do raffles sometimes. So I've added different things. I'm like, you got different things going on. So like if you're bored out here or in there, go outside. There's things going on outside. So like I have different things that I'm going, and I'm still working through things that I like, you know, the structure I like now too, because I've been changing a lot of things. So like, you know, I was just going to events and like was wondering like what's missing? Like what's missing from this event that's making people like want to go home so early? Like what are we not, like what's not happening? So like it's just about adding things to an event to like entertain people, because a lot of people's attention spans like are real low. Especially now too. So it's like, what can you do to like feed into that attention span and maybe like change it or like maybe help it? Like, you know, you never know. So I feel like just the events just for me before were just like boring. And it's like we're just here, you know. Everyone's on stage. And that's when I started having like, you know, get off stage. Like like why are you on stage? And I'm like, even now I'm like,
get your ass off the
I be texting 23 like everyone needs to get off stage. I be like everyone off the stage.
It's
like
not battle rap.
We're not like, this is a show. We're like, we don't even need them to be on stage because they need to be in the crowd cheering their friends on.
They be feeling like they, you know what it's about. But listen,
with the bun.
Listen, Romy, I really appreciate you being here on this podcast. Podcasting is like a new thing that I'm discovering. It's
Hmm.
something that I was not looking for at all. I didn't give a fuck about podcasting
Be
when
a
I lived in
talker.
Dallas. But now it just seems to be my entire life, literally, you know?
Yeah,
And
that's good though.
I'm glad to share this platform with you. And I'm glad to have you speak and share your perspective and have people hear how smart and how wise and how intelligent and how hardworking you are, because there is no doubt about it in my mind that the entire city of Dallas, as far as like people who love the type of music that we all love, whether it's hip hop or not, they all should be they should be grateful for what you've done to contribute to an entire city. And I think that it's very impressive that you could come into this by yourself and then literally create something that makes people proud to be from there. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many artists that get a chance to really be seen and really be heard and make money and create relationships, maybe meet the engineer that they didn't have on their team, or meet the videographer they didn't have on their team. And all these things happen because of your ideas and everybody really just building off of the foundation that you created. So I personally want to tell you thank you, because Vibes literally has done so much for me, for real. Like, it's
Right.
been a million nights I left Vibes drunk. Sorry, that's not the most politically correct thing to say, you know what I mean? But some of the best nights of my life of just getting drunk, eating great food, connecting with people, and just feeling like the man too. You know what I mean? Being in a Vibes event, it's like, bro, like every time I feel like a little mini celebrity in this bitch. And these are all things that just like was provided because of the platform that you created. So I want to tell you thank you.
Thank you.
Your future is bright. I know that wherever you're going from here is going to be incredible. Just looking at everything that you've done already, and yeah, that's
Thank
it.
you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Also, if anyone's listening, if you do know any lofts or anything in New
In New
York,
York,
in New York that is, renting
for
or,
sure.
know a friend and know a friend,
Yeah.
hit me up.
And real quick before we leave, just let them know where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter, Romii Ray, ROMIIRAE. And then in my bio, I have my Vibes Texas tag on there as well on all platforms. Vibes Texas spelled out, not TX. But yeah.
Yeah. And before we leave, the outro. Whenever I'm working, I will remember that done is better than perfect. And if I'm
Yep.
satisfied with my work, then I'm living in my purpose. It is fucking
Hey.
hot. We're getting
Yes.
the fuck out of here, hopefully into some food.
Hey.
Peace.
Look, I had some good Jamaican food earlier too.
From Jamrock?
From $14.